Hello, my beautiful gemstones. Welcome to, I lost my breath for a minute, Personal Intuitive Oracle for each and every one of you, our usual Wednesday night stream. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm really glad you guys could make it. And as usual, it's my favorite night of the week for obvious reasons, right? Melissa Nicole, hi, I just saw you come in. Don't worry, I see everyone else. I'll get to you all. So I'll have just a couple short things and then we'll move right on into it. Hi, Aunt Anna. So these are the earrings, speaking of Aunt Anna, that she got me, the genuine Moldavites that I haven't worn yet because I've had them charging. And I have my Moldavite necklace that I got from Lotus Girl to match. And yeah, so I'm feeling some serious energy and it feels awesome. What else? So Venus is in Pisces in 2 days. So that's going to be interesting. I may do a video on it. It's a really interesting placement. It's like, yes, Venus rules Taurus, but it's right at home in Pisces. We just have to be careful that we don't start looking at things through rose-colored glasses, you know, and where most of the world sees everything in black and white. Pisces sees every single color of the rainbow all the time. So look out for that. If you're one of those really intellectual types, you may find yourself moving over to the other side for a little while there. Guys, I just wanted to cover a couple of things, like I said, really quick. People reaching out to me, and this is not directed towards one specific person, okay? Even though I don't think any of the people who have done this are in here, but it's mainly for the people who listen after, okay? Hey, Tracy. Hey, everybody. I'm going to say hi to everyone in just a sec. So reaching out to me if you're a victim of domestic violence, even if it's severe and extreme, I will always do my best. I'm not a professional counselor or doctor or anything like that, but I will always do my best to find resources for you or help you in any way that I possibly can. I cannot give out money, mainly because I don't have any. If I did, maybe it would be something different. But also, so the scenario I'm talking about is specifically, because this happens all the time, is if I were to fundraise for somebody, it would be putting my personal and professional reputation behind that person and stating, this is actually happening, this is what the money is going towards. And that's really hard to do when you only know someone through the internet. And it's not that I don't trust you guys, but this isn't even people that are like in the stream all the time. Like I said, the people I'm referring to aren't even here. So, and then it puts me in a bad spot because then it's like, if I don't help a fundraiser for someone who's a domestic violence victim, then I'm a jerk because I'm not helping. And I don't really think that's fair. So in order to start a fundraiser, anyone can do it. Look up how to do it. Even if you don't have battered women shelters in the country that you live in, there has to be some sort of resource. When I offer to find you that resource and then you change the reason that you need the money because now you don't need it because you're a battered woman, but you actually need it because you need tuition for your kids' school, things like that, like messaging me and demanding $20 because your car broke down on the side of the road. And if I don't help you, you're going to tell everyone that I'm a fraud. So I better cash up you money, or I need to raise $4,000 for you guys. I'm just not willing to do that. If you're a friend and someone I know and you really need help with something and there's anything I can do, including fundraise, I would love to do it. But if you're someone who randomly comes in here and, I've spoken to you through email or text message a couple of times, plus I'm a psychic knower. So I don't ever like to call people out on their BS, even when I know they're full of it. And some of the people that are contacting me are definitely full of it. So I'm not taking responsibility for fundraising for someone's lifestyle if I don't have proof. So when I ask for documents and all that, and you can provide those, then maybe I'll consider it. But that's not what I'm about here. I'm about spirituality, the metaphysical oracle, and connecting with you guys and shining light. But again, my personal and professional reputation, which I'm just starting to build almost 3 years into my YouTube career, I don't think that's a fair position to put me in. I really don't. So, okay, moving on. Don't forget, donations go towards decks and thanks, Guy. Go towards decks and the monthly StreamYard, and also so I can make a living without having to quit YouTube altogether and go and get a real job. You know what I'm saying? I love doing what I love, and you guys make that possible. One more thing I want to say, I got the Earthly Souls Oracle, which I've been waiting for Amazon to get more for 3 months. So I order it. It's a little bit more than what I would normally spend on a deck, but I was like, forget it. I'm just going to splurge and treat myself. And yes, Perfect Imperfection, they are doing it to me, and it's been going on for a long time. And I'm getting tired of the guilt that I feel like it is trying to be put on me. So anyway, I ordered it from Amazon last Wednesday. It was supposed to be here Monday, so I have it in time for the show. I was super excited. I was like, yes. So Monday all day, it's like, we'll arrive by 10 o'clock. And at 5 p.m., I checked to see if it had gotten delivered. So, because I wasn't home, so I would let my mom know to go and grab it off the porch. And then it suddenly said, we'll arrive tomorrow by 10 p.m., meaning yesterday. So I was just curious to make sure, like, what the holdup was, to make sure there wasn't anything where it got sent back and it was going to take a long time, because I was excited for it and to have it tonight, right? Melissa, hold that thought. So I call, and it's a chat, like the Amazon customer service chat. And all I did was ask the question, you know, are we sure that it's going to be there tomorrow? Because I do need it for work on Wednesday night. And the person was like, I'm sorry for the inconvenience. How about if I refund you the money and you get to keep the deck? And I was like, yeah, but I don't need a refund. I'm just asking, is it going to be there tomorrow? And they're like, yeah, but you know, in order to help you with this. So they weren't answering my question, and they were offering me a refund and to keep the deck. So I took screenshots because I knew something was weird about this entire thing. So I was like, okay, that's great. Is it going to show up tomorrow? They're like, yes, it'll show up tomorrow, and I'm processing your refund. I was like, don't process the refund unless I'm definitely still getting the deck. And the person's like, yes, don't worry, no problem. Like, this is because, you know, of the inconvenience, you know, you suffered by not getting it today, et cetera, et cetera. I'm like, okay, fine, I'm going to take that. It was offered to me out of the clear blue sky. That's not what I was looking for. So then yesterday I go to check to see when it's going to be here, and it was refunded and sent back to the seller. I more than lost my temper with Amazon. So the reason that, I'm not talking badly about this person, because I do know that they are a victim of domestic violence and abuse. And I wish that they lived next door so I can go and help them. This person lives in a different country, and they're trying to get to another country to get away from the abuser. I just don't feel comfortable fundraising for someone that I barely know. I don't fundraise for myself. And there was at least one time where I was really, really desperate and struggling through a course of years, where if I had just fundraised, I probably could have fixed the problem in a matter of months. I don't feel comfortable doing it. I don't even like asking for donations every single stream. But if I didn't, I wouldn't make any money. And then I would have to, like I said, quit YouTube and get out. So, you know, my heart goes out to anyone that's wanting for anything, anyone's in that situation. I've been there, like I've been open with you guys about, but it puts me in a really uncomfortable spot, and it pains me, because I do know this person is going through this, but I also know there are some other things, and I'm not saying this is what's happening with this person, but sometimes what I see in my mind's eye is like the abuser being like, yeah, now you want to tell people about this? Okay, now tell her this and get money from her. So, yeah, that's what it is too. I can't help but see when people are lying. So, okay, rant over for now. And thank you guys for being understanding on that. Like I said, you guys who I communicate with throughout the week, for the most part, I see you guys every week. I see who you are, even through chat. I say that to you guys all the time. Connect with your energy. I will help you guys in any way that I can. But if you've come in maybe 4 times in the last 2 years, I feel like I'm picking on a particular person, and I'm not, because it's happened multiple times. And, you know, I almost cried today because I felt so bad saying no. Like, I know. And I don't even think I said no. I think I kind of just avoided the conversation. And I shouldn't have to cringe when I open my emails because people asking me for money. Lotus Girl, not sure if I'll be in and out. Hubby had major surgery yesterday, and he's throwing up and suddenly feels bad all over. I'll be listening, but taking care of him. Love y'all. Go do what you need to do. I will read for you. Don't worry at all. Slow motion. Josephine Van Dam, the Bat Mom. Listening, but going to take New York. Okay, so it's actually not funny, and I'm sorry. I was like, take New York. Okay. My son to the hospital to get checked out. I don't know what's going on there, but prayers, love, light, peace. Let's send it to Bat Mom. Miss Ann Palmer, I got a ton of emails from you. Just email. I didn't open them yet, but I will. Smoochy. Nut slap. Nutslap will be listening. Aunt Edna, Perfect Imperfection. Perfect Imperfection, I know you said it was urgent. You needed to speak to me. I told you to text me. You didn't text me. You may not have my phone number, but you do have my email. So if you want to email me your phone number or email me what's going on, that would be okay. Melissa Nicole, hello once again. Aaron Billings, hi. Salvatore Soto. Richard Elmore, Tracy Tritton. Ralph and Cassie Francis. So good to see you all. Thank you so much for coming in. Yeah, Anna, I kind of feel that way too, but you have to, or I have to, really distinguish between different energies. Do you know what I'm saying? My Wi-Fi is being wonky. We're having really weird weather, so hopefully I don't go in and out. Yeah, I was blackmailed one time over $20. Someone said if I didn't cash app it to them because they were like stuck on the side of the road and they had no house because their house burned down, so they were living in their car. It was like all this crazy stuff all at once. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to cash app the 20 to this person. God bless them, and block them. So I did it. I did it as an experiment to see. When I cash apped it to them, the message I got wasn't thank you. It was, oh crap, I forgot I was negative $6. So go ahead and send that 6 too, so that I can go. Actually, 2 more because I need to actually withdraw it. So if you can send 9 more, that would be great. I blocked I ignored the person. I sent the person something back because it was like 2 years ago. And I was like, listen, I didn't even have that 20 to send you. I felt bad for you. I know you're lying and you're buying drugs. Have a good life. Don't ever contact me again. Then they sent me a request for $9, like how you do through Cash App. Like, I guess I come across as a pushover, but people forget about my abilities, which sometimes is a good thing when people forget and don't see me coming. Darling Deb, hi, honey. Anyone that I missed? Vixen Doe. All right, let's bring him in. The man of the hour and the one you're all really here to see. Don't lie. Ghostdragonzw.
That's a lie. You're not here to see me. You're here to see her. I know better than that.
Maybe the ladies are here to see you.
Yeah, I know there are a couple of them.
All right. Without further ado, let everyone know how you're doing.
I'm doing fine. We're still in a hotel, and hopefully not for long, but only God knows that right now. So let's rock this town, okay?
All right. Who's first?
Lotus.
I inadvertently collected a dead last night. I haven't had any with me for a couple of weeks, and I was starting to be like, shut up, Smoochie. So I'm a little bit out of breath more than usual tonight because he's kind of lurking around, but he's okay. I picked him up from a friend of the stream, but I'm not going to say who needed my help. We did a 1-hour video call, which, by the way, guys, I do charge for. I don't believe I charge much, but I do charge for them, and had to figure out if he was cursed or if he had attachments. He did have attachments. He had 2 of them, and one of them kind of just I collected. So I am out of breath because of that reason. So Pam Smith, hi. Okay, Lotus Girl, 2 kittens. You must choose. Card number 27. I have this one guy who sporadically messages me like once every 3 months and asks me if I'll out him publicly. And like, dude is trying to out someone else. Do it, which I would never do. That's horrible. But he's persistent. He makes all different accounts. Okay. Lotus, this magical being is holding tight to 2 very beautiful cats. Both of them offer her growth in her femininity, independence, and satisfaction on many levels. Both of them are very young, very tender. She feels nurturing and protective toward them both. How can I put one down? She asks, torn. She is being asked to choose between the 2, to separate one thing from another, and she is shocked that she must make this choice. When this being comes to you, tune in. Ask yourself, your body, what it wants to do. Make a decision. You can no longer go on at this point attempting to walk in two different directions at once. And that which you most fear, causing pain, will not happen if you're willing to choose. Cats are about your independence, your ability to leap high and to make it through tricky situations. Choose and do it now. Two Kittens Speak will help you make an important choice. So you're having trouble making a decision. You can't see which one to choose, which way to go. Both seem equally good or equally flawed. We have come to show you the difference between the two choices. You know you can only take one road at this time, and you know you must trust that which you leave behind, that which you are telling yourself you are abandoning, will be safe and cared for otherwise. You will make it through this choice without feeling the agonies of guilt. You will. The universe trusts you to make the right choice. Feel it. You can now choose between seemingly indivisible ways. There will be a solution to this impossible situation. Put one choice out of your mind and move on with the other. There will never be a wrong choice. The only incorrect action at this time will be trying to do and to have both. The other that you leave behind will not feel abandoned or angry as you fear. It will be safe and it will not be harmed, and it will find the perfect place and person to be with. Your test is to choose one right now. You cannot hold both and do what must be done. Trust. In this case, it is up to you to choose, and the loss you fear is in fact a freedom. Time will prove this so. For now, put one thing down and choose the other, or no real growth will ever take place. There is such a challenging choice to be made at the moment. It could be between two schools, two sports, two people who wish to be in a relationship with you, two friends who wish to have your time, or even, just as it is in the image of the card, two gorgeous creatures whom you wish to adopt and protect. It is necessary for you to tune in and do something right now, though, for you cannot continue as you have been in the present. One thing must be left for its rightful place. Rightful place is not with you. The universe will send you many messages to help you decide, but it is you who ultimately must act, who must choose, who must say what your decision is. Passivity will lead to greater pain for all at this time, and that is something you are responsible for. So choose, act, get clear, stay open and calm, and the decision will come. But the choice, this card insists, must be made. No more compromise on this. So, Lotus Girl, a choice between two people, two entities, two things, okay, a choice between two, or let me think of how to put this, because I don't see that you have, like, I don't see it as cut and dry as like choosing two kittens. I see it more of a like, am I going to continue to put up with this? Or, am I going to continue to live this way? Am I going to continue things like that? That's the decision that you have to make. And you may feel like you're going to be disappointing someone, letting someone down, should you choose to walk away from a certain aspect of a relationship. I feel this is within your relationship with your husband, but I don't feel like it's like you're leaving him or anything. I just feel like there's something here that's going on that you absolutely cannot take. And we both know that this is true regardless of whether or not I got it from a card, because I tell you this personally as a friend all the time. But I do understand you're feeling stuck and not knowing what to do, and also feeling like you don't have as much control as you originally thought over this situation. So I really feel like you have to make a choice for yourself of how much you're willing to put up with, what you're willing to put up with, if any, regarding this situation. You may have to just walk away from the entire thing altogether. And it doesn't even have to be that particular issue that I'm talking about, but it is something similar. There could be something where you have to choose between two coming in this week, but I don't see it being anything like major, where it's really going to cause any grief or anything like that. The one thing I will say is this is your last opportunity to make the decision before the universe steps in, decides that you're not deciding quick enough, and does something to move the situation in an almost backward direction, so that you have to go through it all again, just in a different way or form, and repeat it in order to see if this time, maybe next year or 6 months from now, you'll make the right decision and, more quickly. The problem with that is if you're pushed back, you're not coming out of the dark night of the soul like most of us are waiting to do end of February, beginning of March. So I feel for you, especially knowing a lot of what you're going through, because I don't even know what I don't know what I would do. I know you don't have much time, especially with hubby being sick and you caring for him. Honey, if you could take the time that you're in the shower and really focus on listening, you're going to receive the answers. And it may not be the answer or answers that you want to hear or that you're expecting, but when you hear those answers, please take heed, take notice, and act. Do it before the universe throws you into a tower moment.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Slow motion.
Slow motion, I'm going to use Oracle of the Radiant Sun. Yeah, guys, like and share out if you know anyone that would enjoy this content, this type of content. If you're interested, information about just personals and also my spiritual helper / happiness boxes, crystal kits. I'm thinking of making some potions like Follow Me Boy, Bitch Be Gone, all powerful, negativity clearing, things like that. But they take some time. So I wouldn't want to go through the hassle of making them if like nobody was going to order them. So let me know if you're interested in something like that. Ghostdragonzw, thank you so much, honey. I do appreciate you.
I know you do. That's
To
why
be human is to
basement.
make mistakes, guys.
What? I interrupted you.
To be human is to make mistakes.
Yes.
Even some of us, and I want to say most of us, but some of us even being partially human. Our humanity is what makes us make mistakes. So don't ever feel bad for making a mistake.
When you boo-boo, you boo-boos. Just move on.
All right, slow motion. There it is. Charity. Card number 4. And it is Cancer in Saturn. Saturn in Cancer. Whew, I am feeling this Moldavite, guys. All right, Saturn in Cancer. People with Saturn in the sign of Cancer show responsibility and self-discipline when family matters are concerned. Often this planet / sign combination indicates people whose own early environment may have been harsh or severe and who may still have a few emotional scars. For this reason, it is more than usually important that the people this card describes improve their own family circumstances, although real home comforts and security are likely to come later in life. Monster Radio, hi. New England Dirt Roadie, hi. Yes, thank you so much, honey. I do appreciate the endorsement. There will be periods during which Saturn Cancerians feel emotionally isolated from the family or may have to take on extra responsibility. Whatever this may be, they take family and social responsibility seriously, valuing stability and security. Negatively, however, this can produce over-possessiveness toward material things and loved ones. Conscientious work in caring for or helping others will prove fulfilling throughout life for Saturn Cancerians. Often this planet sign combination indicates the need for much hard work to keep up required standards of security and comfort. Nevertheless, feelings are hidden from public view to maintain dignity. Saturn Cancer people suffer conflicting moods that manifest as difficulty in expressing feelings for fear of losing dignity. When this card is revealed in a reading, it can indicate a struggle to maintain family or home security. It may involve accepting reluctantly the material assistance of an institution. Work for a charity or institution, a responsible post in which one is rewarded for good works, rewards for social work, or foster parenting. So, slow motion, before I read that, I just want to say, New England Dirt Roadie, thank you. If you haven't gotten one of Gemma's personal readings, she gives you way more content than these one-card readings on these live chats. 100% worth every penny. And New England Dirt Roadie is referencing our hour-and-a-half long spiritual journey face-to-face video call that we did last night. And I got good news for you. I was talking about it in the beginning. I didn't say your name, but one of those dudes is now with me. I told you, I had a feeling it was going to happen. It happened. So he's been with me all day, kind of chilling and taking my breath away a little bit, but we're all good. We're good to go. Okay, slow motion. What this card what this card is saying for this week is you could get the opportunity to do some charitable work. It doesn't have to look like, a bake sale or volunteering at church. It could just be lending a helping hand to somebody. I would be very careful, and this morning it's coming in loud and clear, of giving people money. Something like what I was just talking about, right? Don't lend anyone money. I would be very, very careful if you're donating money to any kind of organization to make sure that you've done your homework, done your research. I don't care if you're donating a penny. Don't give your money to just any organization because someone else stands behind them. I don't know why. That's a very specific message. Another thing that I'm getting that you're either dealing with right now or that could be coming in the very near future, like this week or next week, is the possibility that you are going through. Thank you so much, Perfect Imperfection. Don't ever be sorry. Every little bit helps. And I always appreciate when you guys donate your hard-earned money to me in appreciation. And I do know you love me and I love you too. I'm sorry, slow motion. Got to get focused. Mike Roberts, hi. I feel like there is some kind of inner conflict working in you, or that's about to be working in you. Okay, slow motion. I'd be really careful of this. I'm not saying you're a recovering addict or anything like that, but I see this a lot in recovering addicts where it's like that creeping coming in of the addiction trying to come back with full effect. I always say my addiction is standing right outside my bedroom door, just getting its weight up, waiting for me to have that thought. That's what's happening here. There is something outside your door getting its weight up, waiting for you to turn to it in a time of desperation. It doesn't need to be drug addiction, alcoholism. It could be gambling, sex. You could be addicted to lying, stealing, cheating. I don't know. There's something here that you're kind of aching, or you will be at least thinking about going back to. And the universe is reminding you to play the tape all the way forward. Think about everything that you could lose should you choose to go this route.
Sorry.
That's okay. Think about, pros and cons. That it's cliche, but that old list, pros on this side, cons on this side, and really think it through. I don't know exactly what this is. It's not a very specific message in one way where I'm not seeing what it is, but it's very specific in another way. Like something or someone from your past is calling you back, and you are very, very tempted to turn around to it. If you do, it could be dire consequences, and turning the situation you're in right now that you're supposed to be trying to fix, whether it be a romantic relationship, work, whatever it is, it's not going to stand a chance. So it's like, if you turn around even for a second and go back to this other thing, even for an hour, what's going on right now is toast. Thank you so much, Andrew and Gnomes Trucking Express. I really do appreciate you guys. Thank you. One more thing, slow motion, because I'm trying to make this more clear for you. Say you're in a romantic relationship, you're married, you've been married for 10 years, and you and your wife have separated. You're living separately, but you're still kind of trying to work things out together. All of a sudden, your ex from 15 years ago turns up single and on your Facebook page asking you to go out on a date. If you turn and go on just one date with this person, your wife's not going to be too happy, regardless that you guys are separated, and she's never going to let go of it enough to allow you back into the relationship. And that's just an example, and I hope that clarifies it a little bit.
Okay. Now, here's the thing we talked about last week. Josephine Von Dam is next. And when she came in, she said, "Oh, I'm here. I'm calling you, Josephine, now. Please, if you're here, come. I'm going to give you a couple minutes, then I'm going to move on."
Well, she'll most likely come back in, and then she's just going to have to wait until the very end.
That's fine. Hello,
Only
Kai.
because it's the same people every single week, and we know that they're not like distracted with something else. They're distracted from getting readings and other chats, which is perfectly okay. But when you come back in, you're going to have to wait your turn. It's not like she's taking care of a sick husband.
There she is right there. Thank you very much.
And guys, it's not just Josephine I'm picking on. I went through this last week too. There's like 5 people who continuously do that. Josephine, you actually don't seem to be one of them, because you've been right back in the minute we call you. So once again, I apologize.
I do too.
We're very on that topic because it kind of slows the stream down. It messes the vibe up. And we kind of have to remember with you specifically that it takes you a very long time to get back, even when you're in here. So no worries, you're good. Anyone else, if you've got to come in and out, no big deal. But when you come back in, you may have to wait a little bit longer. And a lot of people get really mad because they feel like they were jumped in line. Guys, we're all adults here. Josephine, thank you.
Yes.
And thank you for your understanding and for your patience.
Thank you for removing that, Gemma.
I feel like after all this time, we're still getting the hang of all of this too.
Well, it throws me off a lot when I'm trying to be patient and let new people come in and get in. And I'm trying to work it where everybody gets a reading I've forgotten people or missed people. And then I feel bad because I honestly hate doing that.
People get on us when we accidentally miss them too. And I think what it is, guys, is this stream is so relaxed and so chill, but there's so much that goes on behind the scenes with me and Steven too. Excuse me, and I highly doubt that. To make this stream what it is and to try our best to have everyone leave here feeling optimistic. Even if you get a crappy reading, you know what I'm saying? That doesn't bode well for your next week. I want to make you feel good about that in 2 weeks, it's all going to be okay. And there's a lot that goes into that. I spend pretty much my entire Wednesdays in isolation and seclusion. I do work on writing, but I don't have a lot of interaction with people by text or on the phone or even face-to-face because I'm trying to keep myself as wide open as possible. And if I were to communicate with people, I pick up all their stuff. So I stay in the house, everyone, a lot goes into this. So, hey, Monica, darling Deb, y'all do such a good job, though, really. Thank you so much. We don't ever want anyone to feel bad, left out, we all kind of have to work together, which we generally do. Josephine.
She beats me when we're done, so it's no big deal. She just takes it out on
I'm
me.
sorry, I didn't hear you, and you're like mumbling.
I said it's all right. You take it out on me later anyway, so it's all good.
Ooh, okay. What a nice card. Nice looking. I don't know what it means, but voice. You are here to know. So, you are here to be known, honey. So speak and be seen. Oh, yeah. Turned right to it. I love when that happens. Waiting for Miss Pixie to come in. UFologist and anyone else that I missed. Hello. So nobody reached out. Oh, there she is. All right, put Lara in. She's got an hour. Nobody reached out to want to come on the show for tomorrow. So Lara, it is short notice, but I didn't get to check until last night late. If you want to come on again from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern or any portion of those 2 hours, let me know. And we would love to have you. Last week was amazing. I listened to it and I actually started getting emotional because I don't know, there was something magical about what we did there. And I look forward to doing it again. Josephine, family, culture, and society can often demand silence and invisibility. Sometimes early in life, silence and invisibility are the necessary means for survival. However, at some point in our lives, we need to release our light from the shadows and shine our own uniqueness into the world. Thank you, Anna. Initially, the very thought of expressing ourselves may stir up fears of being criticized, rejected, or abandoned. Nonetheless, it is always up to us whether such fears stop us or we persist alongside them until they dissipate. To withhold our unique gifts results in trapped energy that turns negative and is potentially toxic to our health and well-being. Allowing our spirit self to sing nourishes and expands us. Our wings mend by expressing our voices. Flight is possible when we can express ourselves in ways that others can truly know and connect with us. The Guardian assures you that living according to your spirit self's voice will not ever betray you. It is you and has your back, often in ways that are not immediately obvious. Nonetheless, hindsight will always reveal that being true to yourself is the way to fulfilling the love, security, and completeness that you inevitably will seek. It is a time of tuning in to your voice from your heart's center. It may involve tuning out any unsupportive external forces. Much joy can be had in exploring every medium or form that inspires you. Allow your body, thoughts, and heart to breathe in tune with your spirit self's beat and vitality so miracles and blessings can reach you. You are the only person who can proceed to make you invisible or silent. Once you accept yourself, no one and nothing can have the limiting effects of judgment, criticism, or rejection. It is always up to you to let no doubt or fear have the power to bury you in the muting shadows. Remember that every perceived reaction or rejection, setback, or failure is a lesson forming your pathway to the door that does open. Only you can stop you from walking through. Guardian's message. Your difference is your blessing and responsibility to share. Good night, Pam. Love you. Pam, I want to talk to everyone about what you and I have been discussing the past couple weeks, but I'll wait a little while. Josephine, this is an incredible card, and I'm so glad to see you, of all people, getting it. I would be glad to see any of us getting it, but I don't know you personally. We don't speak off this stream, but first of all, I want to say if anyone has to leave soon, let me know, let us know so that you can get a reading before you go, because I hate to see you guys come in and leave without getting a reading if you want one. So I only know through, I don't consciously remember readings, but there are certain people that I remember the gist of their readings over time. Actually, I do with most of you guys, if I'm being honest. Like when I pull a card for you to come back to me. Josephine, a lot of us in this community, and this is just an example. When we finally realize we're light workers, or we're abductees, or we're mediums, or extreme empaths, whatever it is that we are, we always come to this crossroads and have this decision that we have to make. Do we hide this and live in it privately and quietly, or do we shout it from the rooftops, or at least let our close friends and family know? I mean, these are the options, but with those options comes always the fear of rejection, right? And at the end of the day, fear of rejection is ego, as is people pleasing, wanting people to accept us. It's human nature. But there's a time in our lives, many times in our lives, and this is one of them for you, Josephine, where you have to be who you are, say what needs to be said for once and for all, and then move on. And the people who can't move on from that with you, they weren't meant to be in your life anymore. There are most people that come into our lives are meant for us to learn lessons from each other and then to move on from each other. I feel like you're coming to some kind of realization, or about to make a major decision, or that you just made a major decision and you're living in this space of, or existing in this space of fear, of judgment, of ridicule, of rejection. Please understand that it's nobody's business why you do the things that you do. If you choose to explain it to them, that's fine. But I want you, I want you to exist and in confidence, and be confident with any recent decisions you made, especially if they were super duper hard for you to make, or any decisions that you finally, like, you came to this decision, but you haven't yet announced it or brought it to the person or whatever. Don't be talked out of it. Don't talk yourself out of it, and don't let anyone else come in and tell you it's the wrong decision. The universe has your back regardless of whether or not it's right or wrong. But I'm telling you right now, it is the right choice for you at this moment in time in your life. If you turn back now or allow yourself to be talked out of it, you are going to spend God knows how long trying to get back to a place where you're in a position to make this choice all over again.
Mute.
I wanted to see how long it would take you to figure it out.
Bat Mom.
All right.
And then we're going to do Ann Palmer, and then Lara.
Miss
Pixie.
Bat
You say it your
Mom.
way, I'll say it my way.
Bat Mom, I'm going to use Urban Crow. You're welcome, sweetie. Good luck and Godspeed. Well, Mike, don't leave without getting a reading, okay?
I told him if we didn't see him later, because he has to be held off. And if I didn't see him later, I'll write it in chat.
Okay, great. Richard, do you not want a reading, or you'd like one, but you have to leave in a half hour? Because even if you only have a half hour, I can put you in.
Yeah, we can get you in.
But if you just simply don't want one this week, that's okay. Hey, Bar Mom. We're all having trouble typing tonight, ain't? Okay, Bat Mom, release card number 39. When the time comes when you cannot grieve anymore and it is time to let go, release is the next step. This card may come to you when you need help moving forward or accepting an ending. It is time to move on, rise up, and release yourself from the past. Release represents the transition between letting go and moving on. I like that. It is that moment when we become aware that we can no longer hold on to the past or an event that cannot be altered. You may need to consider if your situation is blocked or impacted by something that needs to be released. I definitely do feel this with your energy a lot of the time, Batmom. I feel like, I don't think it's a decision you made though. Like, I do feel like you may get into your moments where you kind of dwell on the past, but I don't see you doing that a lot. I feel like you're like dwelling on other people's bad decisions or other people's mistakes. There's only so much you can do, and only so much influence you can have over others, no matter how much you love and care for them, and no matter how much you may be right and they may be wrong, before you finally just have to accept that what's done is done. And at the end of the day, it's on them, right? Batmom, I really want you to try this week to only focus on what you can control. You know, as a human being, that's kind of hard to do because we are almost programmed to do nothing but worry, right? Or so it seems. We're actually not, but that's how it seems a lot of the time. This week, try not to dwell on things that can't be changed. If anything, go back to our old friend that I learned in all of the recovery I did, solution-based, right? If there's something that you really are hanging on to, a choice that was made that didn't end well, or something that ended badly, or that didn't go as planned, and even though it's like an I told you so kind of moment, from you to the other person, I want you to see, is there a way you can fix it, barring going back in time somehow and, doing the impossible? If not, I want you to do everything you can to move on from it. Literally imagine, close your eyes, sit in quiet contemplation just for a minute, and imagine whatever this is coming out of your head on a little cloud. It could be a little black cloud. That's how I like to imagine it. And then imagine it just slowly floating away out your window into the sky, all the way up to the actual sky until you can no longer see it. Let it go. Another way you can get rid of it is to write it down and burn it. And you can do this as needed with anything that either that's on your mind that you can't stop kind of obsessing about, but you have no control over, can't do anything about, or if you have something to say to someone, but you don't know how to say it, worries, angers, anxieties, fears. That's a great way to release some of that. But this week, if you are too busy focusing on things that already happened that you have no control over and have no way to change, you're going to miss an incredible opportunity that's pretty much going to land in your lap in the next week or two. And it's not going to be an opportunity that you're going to get again. And I feel like it could be somewhat life-altering for you. Shelley Roberts, try to focus on the future, on making things better for next time, on making better decisions, or not taking other people's decisions so personally to heart. That's called, working on you, shadow work, inner child work, that type of stuff that we all should be doing. I don't know a single light worker that hasn't been called lately to at least start shadow work. Most people don't even know what that is, but they're feeling something. That's the inner child, the shadow, begging, desperate for attention. It's your soul yearning for you to release all of that and move on, because you are very much blocked.
Okay. Before I start, I have to say something funny. My dad was watching your video with me the other day, and he goes, "Is she Italian? She talks with her hands. Is she Italian? I want to know, is she Italian?"
Nope.
I told him that. It's like, well, but she sure acts like it.
Yeah, I grew up in a household with a 100% Italian stepfather, but this all started actually. I always did it when I was explaining something. It's just something that comes naturally for me when I'm explaining something. So with my YouTube channel, I'm always explaining something and they just go. Now it's like when I get mad, I do it in real life so much more now than I ever did because I'm so used to doing it here. There were a few videos where I would just keep my hands like this And it felt so awkward. Like they're just a few videos back where I was here and I was just trying to keep my hand still. Oh my gosh, it was so awkward. I don't
Yeah.
know if Pixie said it.
Well, I played him the video of you on SOR doing the Italian stuff.
Hey.
Yeah, and he was just laughing. Anyways, next.
I am half Irish and half Native American. Who's next?
Okay, we're gonna do Ann Palmer, but before we do Ann Palmer, then we're gonna do Loa, Miss Pixie, and then we're gonna do Richard, and then we're gonna do Smoochie the Nut.
All right, I don't. That's too much.
I just letting you know. I was letting them know.
Okay,
I changed it up a little bit so I get Richard in.
Sister from another mister. Bat Mom, yeah, I'll text you. We could do that. If you haven't heard from me by Friday afternoon, text me, okay? And then I'll answer you right there. I'm trying to get all my emails, texts, everything out of the way tomorrow.
102. My dad turns 89, 90 here pretty soon.
What's your dad's sun sign?
I have no idea. He's a Gemini. He's a Gemini. Huh? He's a Gemini.
When's his birthday?
June 17th.
Oh, you said soon. I'm thinking like next month.
Well, coming up. It's soon for him. Time flies when you get old.
And Palmer, you got from the Dark Goddess deck, Ereshkigal, the card of coercion. EFG. Coercion, forcing to conform, enticement in its darkest form. Never jump to each demand. Threats be gone. Now take a stand by the power of the Dark Goddess in me, as I will it. Blessed be. This one's actually protection in place. Blessed be. But I usually do as I will it. I messed that one up. You have seen some dark days indeed. It is as though your whole life has been run entirely by emotional blackmail. A victim of coercion, you have carried the fear, guilt, and shame placed upon you by others for their own benefit. Sensitivity to your own wants and needs is playing second fiddle to the desires of others. Unfortunately, this is the only survival skill for existing that you are familiar with, and so you too have become hostage to this way of dark enticement. Time to acknowledge and change your acceptance of any demands that have been placed too heavily upon you. Make a stand, be strong, and don't be coerced into anything that does not sit well with you. Ereshkigal knows firsthand what it is like to be second best and advises you to walk away. She urges you to reclaim your personal power as you release any victimhood or blackmailing tendencies. Life is too precious to be up for ransom. Don't give in to emotional blackmail. Confide in someone you trust. Make a list of your priorities and put yourself first. Be careful with whom you share your secrets. Someone is asking too many personal questions. Put boundaries in place. A power struggle incites threats. Learn to walk away. So, Anne, this is definitely something that I could see going on in your life. I feel like there is someone who either just came into your life or who's about to come into your life who is coming in the guise of someone who wants to befriend you and offer you help. And I don't know why. I can't see as far as why this person is trying to manipulate you in this way or get close to you in this way, but they're trying to learn something from you. They're trying to get information about something important to them, but I see it more as like for someone else. So I'm not saying this is the case. Again, it's just an example. I always like to clarify that, but say you were in an abusive relationship and you ended it and had to get a restraining order. Then you meet like this person at the coffee shop and she becomes your best friend, but she's like immediately asking for your address and asking you questions about, your most recent relationship, constantly dipping in her phone, she's recording you, that type of deal. But on the surface, this person just looks like a super friendly person. And we all try to be kind and we all try to give others the benefit of the doubt. This week, don't do that. If you get an off feeling about someone, move away from them. Don't allow them in. Don't tell anyone your secrets. Don't tell anyone anything unless you absolutely trust them 100%.
Okay. Now we're going to do Miss Pixie.
Pixie, I'm going to use Heal Yourself.
Hello. How are you?
Good night, Slow Motion. You're welcome, Ann Palmer.
Slow Motion says they look like a younger, meaner, grayer version of me. I've heard it all now. Sounds like my son. Are you my son?
Help from above, Miss Lara. Your positive intentions and heartfelt prayers have been heard. You are loved beyond your wildest dreams. Divine beings are working on your behalf to create the perfect circumstances for you to heal and to open your heart. There is a higher order and timing to everything. You are being asked to work on your self-worth and that you can receive so that you can receive your greatest good in the form of incredible love. Life-transforming opportunities, healing, abundance, and divine inspiration. Keep asking for higher help and intervention in any area of your life. Then follow your intuition and lower your barriers. Let go of any notions of how divinity will bring about your deepest heart's yearning. It may not be in the package you would expect, but it will be life-altering. Your heart is about to be challenged to open wider than ever before. That may require you to feel some sort of fear or pain. Do not run away from this experience. Take steps forward with faith that your greater good is coming. So, Lara, yeah, it's a beautiful picture. And you, I think, I don't know what just happened to my voice there. I'm like, you, I think, already kind of know this. When a situation seems to be like way too challenging, they're usually the situations that bring us the most growth. I feel like the rest of us, you're on a journey, but you're a little bit more aware than at least most of the people around you of what that journey is and where you're going, what you're expecting. I do feel like you should watch this week for the word I keep getting is expectation. So while you know a particular person and or opportunity is coming in for you, you're expecting it to be this, and really it's going to end up being that. And if you're not open to everything, you're going to miss it. Other than that, I feel like this card is just saying, good job, good for you. You're doing an amazing job with focus and with connecting to your own divinity and understanding divine timing and what your purpose is here in this lifetime on this planet. But try your best not to have expectation of what something is going to look like, because as I'm sure you know too, it's probably not going to look anything like that. And in fact, it could look like disaster at first,
Okay, next we're going to do Richard.
Richard, I'm going to use the Halloween Oracle.
And thank you everybody for commendating me on that one.
I keep yawning, but it's not because I'm tired. Like I said, I have that. I have more than usual with me tonight, and it is a little draining. I also am wearing a lot of Moldavite on, and it's fully charged. So I'm all hopped up on Moldavite. Miss Gemma, what/why are all these people reading on Gemini? Do I have something I need to know? I don't understand. What do you mean by reading on Gemini? All right, Richard, let's do this. And no. All right. Richard, you got death. The eternal cycle begins here. Many pagans believed that death was the beginning of the cycle of life. When you think about it, most people consider the act of birth to be the beginning of the life cycle. We are born, we live, and we die, and depending on your beliefs, you may get to go round again. Instead, pagan cultures see death as the beginning of a whole new adventure, the place where your soul gets to choose where it incarnates, why and what it wants to experience. Then and only then does it get born into a body that lives and eventually dies before returning to ride a new cycle. Halloween is a celebration of death as a part of life. As humans are conscious beings, we know about death, and many are afraid and uncomfortable about it. Halloween illuminates the universal truth that all of us will die, just as all of us were born. So to be fearful of that end process is fairly pointless. Halloween asks us instead to make friends with death, just as we seem friendly with birth, and to not allow our fears and grief to bring us unnecessary pain. Do not be afraid if you pull the death card, as it simply means that something is falling away or will do so you can begin something afresh. There is a great power in this clearing. If you pull this card at Halloween particularly, the message is stronger still, and you should actively celebrate a new beginning. Richard, a new beginning coming in for you, okay? Lara, I think that's it. It's okay, Shelly. I'm just trying to understand so I can help you, honey. So, Richard, there's definitely a new cycle beginning for you. I don't know if you're fully aware of the magnitude of how your life is in the process of changing. I feel like there are some things that happened that could be looking to you right now as disappointments or failures, endings that you're regretful about. The universe is basically saying with this card, okay, with the message really that's coming through it, is every single thing that's ever happened, as always, has led directly to this specific and particular point in your life. There are amazing things coming in for you in the next 6 months or so. This week particularly, I would start looking out for new opportunities. If you're looking to date or, be in a relationship, get out there and, go to wherever you want to meet someone or go on. I'm not recommending online dating, but if that's something you would want to do, I'm not recommending it either. I have no opinion one way or the other. But if, you get out there and find a way to find someone. If you're looking for a new job, now is the time to start applying. Everything that seems to have been falling away, for better or worse, has led up to these next few weeks. And this is really the period that's going to define where you're at, or where you step into, what you step into when you step out of your dark night of the soul in about a month and a half.
Okay, you ready? You ready?
Yep.
Okay, Miss Smoochy.
Smoochy, I'm going to use the Fairy Tale Oracle. I have over 120 Oracle decks, and I always use like the same 20. So I've been trying the past couple weeks to pull at least one older one out a week that I haven't used in a while. Trying to get out of that comfort zone, so to speak. Even though it doesn't matter, I can pull a card 300 times and memorize what it means, but the messages are always different, for each and every individual, depending on where they're at in their journey. All right, you can shuffle properly now. Thanks.
Shuffle. Get you a shuffling machine like they have at the dealer's table.
Hi, medial scientists. Smoochy, then the Nixie of Mill Pond, the card of memory. Some of these are soups long, guys. And some of them are just regular. Stop that. Oh, this one's not that bad. Yeah, Lara, definitely. That sounds good to me. Crying and wringing her hands, she called her beloved by name, but to no avail. She hurried across to the other side of the mill pond and called him anew. She cursed the Nixie with harsh words, but no answer followed. The surface of the water remained calm. Only the moon's half face stared steadily back up at her. This is a tale that warns us more than once of what we must be wary of. First, we must be wary of giving our promises without knowing to whom we give our word and what it is when we have given up. And secondly, and what it is we have given up. And secondly, when we try to avoid the keeping of our word, pain is the result, perhaps as a consequence of being out of integrity. This is a tale of a man who gives his word to a nixie, and then, upon realizing he has promised her his newborn son, takes pains to keep his son from her. He warns his son never to go near water, never to feel, never to remember, never to truly love metaphysically, but this prohibition from the magic of water and of feelings, memories, psyche, obviously could not be maintained. As it happens in all these tales, there is no avoiding the keeping of our word in one form or another. Even so, there is so much hope within the tale, for the miller's son, although enchanted and blinded to his true love by his encounters with the magic of the nixie, finally is able to recognize his true self and his true love with the help of good magic, the magic that increases and sustains love, music that recalls memory and allows the lovers within the tale to, quote unquote, see each other once more. When you receive this card, you are being given a very clear message that you cannot avoid an emotional situation, nor can you have complete control over your own feelings. It is necessary to face whatever emotional situation you are seeking to avoid, and by doing so, you will be freed from any curse or fear that you may have upon you. As always, you must persevere to create lasting emotional change in your life, and you are being tested. But when you face the emotions you have long been avoiding, there will, at the end of the sorrow they bring, be joy, love, and recognition of your true soul family. The meaning: fearful of emotions, avoidance of emotional connections and situations, memory loss, unable to connect with those we have once loved, recovery and recognition through effort, separation and loss, and search for our true nature. So, yeah, I don't feel like you're going out of your way to break any promises or not keep your word, but I do feel like you could be, like the book said, avoiding some kind of emotional showdown, so to speak. Somebody did you dirty, or somebody did something that you warned them not to do, and now, like, you just have to say something. And whatever this situation is, it's not a situation where you can easily just be quiet. It doesn't mean you have to go and say, I told you so, if that's the case. But I feel like you can't avoid this person or situation anymore. Whatever and or whoever it is that's causing, and I'm getting more of like angry feelings. I'm not really getting like nostalgia, or I'm getting like anger, resentment. I don't want to tell you it's time to confront, because I never want to advise anyone to be confrontational, but it is time to at least acknowledge that these feelings are there, because burying them deep down, trying to put on a brave face, trying to avoid them, any emotions, positive or negative, always has really devastating effects and consequences in the long run. So Miss Smoochie, say what you've been needing to say, okay? Say what you mean. Face what you've been needing to face for once and for all, and then move on from it as quickly as you possibly can.
Sorry. Old man's trying to decide what he wants to nitpick at. Okay, you ready? Nut slap.
Nut slap. Oracle of the Radiant Sun. Guys, remember, this doesn't necessarily mean whatever card I pull is your placement. Like, you can get Sun in Aries and you could be a Taurus or whatever. It just means that's the energy that's coming in for you this week. Andrew Gnomes, you never know. Could very well be. Okay, menial scientist, come back. The middle of the night. Hi, Eris. And scream and cry like a banshee. Anna, you were not alone. Yeah, me too. I think a lot of empaths and light workers do experience extreme emotional outbursts like that, usually in private, because God forbid we should offend anybody, right? Or worry anybody, and then they're going to be all over us trying to be in our personal space. But that happens because we don't face everything a lot of the time as it comes. Again, for fear of offending, for fear, of attracting too much of the wrong kind of attention, for not being able to be in our personal space. when we need to, that eventually it literally just explodes. Hi, handsome. I love when he waves back. And it definitely does help. I love you too, Smoochie. You'll figure it out. It could be something you don't even realize you've been avoiding, but it will come to you and you'll be like, oh, son of a B word. Son of a motherless goat. Son of a female dog. All right. Who is this?
This is Nut Slap.
Nut Slap. That's correct. Just seeing if you knew.
You know, when you were talking, he was standing there out of sight doing this.
Oh no, I saw you doing it.
Yeah, but I was doing it because he was doing it.
Nope, I don't believe you. You got Venus in Capricorn, Nut Slap. Personal. Venus in the common sense sign of Capricorn describes someone who needs a romantic partner to share and help them achieve ambitions. Yeah, Paranormal Pixie is asking you a question, Ghost Dragons.
Yeah, I saw that.
Disliking public displays of emotion, this planet sign type is fairly conservative in behavior. Although this sounds dull, the Capricornian zany sense of humor prevails, keeping any relationship lively and entertaining. Often the Venus in Capricorn card indicates a fair age difference in a major relationship. People with this aspect are loyal and steadfast, but financial security is very important to their emotional happiness. Love on an overdraft is not conducive to a Capricornian's well-being, and relationships can suffer if the partner is recklessly extravagant or foolish with money. There is always, with this sign, a strong social and artistic ambition. Venus Capricornians like to know and be known by the talent and wait a minute. Venus Capricornians like to know and be known by the talented and successful. It said know and be know, and it threw me off. Their involvement in the arts world could be based on their own talents or be concerned with exploiting the creative abilities of others. The Venus Capricorn love of artistic things usually leads toward the more conventional, expressing itself in classical music and traditional arts. The Venus Capricorn type has good feelings for business dealings with the opposite sex, and harmony in this area is important to their life's ambition. When this card is chosen, it often indicates a romantic liaison with someone much older or younger. A marriage or affair with a great age difference, a relationship with a famous or important person, a new friend of some influence. Nutslap, I'm not really getting a major romantic relationship coming in for you right now. That doesn't mean that the relationship can't evolve over time, but I am getting a connection with someone who maybe you see as famous or connected or somewhat known, right? And I feel like this person could be younger or older. I'm really not seeing that. Maybe a little bit older, actually, come to think of it. I feel like what the universe is telling you is to really pay attention to your intuition when it comes to this person. You may be thinking one thing, they may be thinking another. At the end of the day, you may be on the same page, but I feel like you're two very different people. Don't get caught up in, be careful of where your feelings are coming from. You may not even realize that your attraction is to like what this person does for a living or how much other people like this person and not really coming from you personally. Try to think like, do you know this person enough to have these romantic feelings? Things like that. What this card is calling you to do this week is fairly easy, and just like watch the people that you're looking up to and make sure you're looking up to them for all the right reasons and not just because, again, other people are or because there's someone that you feel is of status or whatever. Also, if you're starting to develop romantic feelings for one or more person, make sure you're developing those feelings because of that person and who they are as an individual and not what they do for a living, how others see them, etc., things like that.
Okay. I'm sorry, I lost my place there for a minute. Edna.
Yeah, Edna, I'm going to use a vintage oracle. Monica, you have such a young spirit. I always envision you, because I see your spirit as like a 19-year-old girl. You have very young energy. Doesn't mean immature or not knowledgeable. Just means young. You're very young in spirit, young at heart. All right, Aunt Edna. Well, Andrew knows stranger things have happened. He said, this is my family. I don't mind being surrounded by all these lovely ladies as long as nobody, astral projection starts chasing me in my sleep. Well, again, stranger things have happened, honey. When you're a catch, you're a catch. I'm thinking of working on some herbal cigarette blends to sell, as well as the potions, manifestation, intention sprays, and spiritual helper / happiness boxes. And I started calling them that because the items I put in sometimes are so random, like the extra stuff, that I feel like it just makes people smile. All right. Oh, no, it's not. I mean, I'm glad you took it as a compliment, but it's just honestly how I see your spirit. Yeah, Edna, you got the card of one of my favorite words, grace. Is there any nudity? Okay, no nudity. Poised in a scene of heady blossoms, lakes, and mountains, a bejeweled dancer is captured in a moment of rapture, twirling a gossamer veil in the rays of the afternoon sun. Her carefree form moves effortlessly in harmony with the beauty that surrounds her. She is intoxicated with the spirit of grace and delights in the sublime sweetness of the passing movement. In addition to obvious visual beauty, grace can manifest in other ways. The name grace has Latin origins and means favor or blessing. In religious traditions, grace means unmerited favor or loving kindness of God. Grace cannot be bargained for, as only the divine mind decides when and how to reveal itself. The presence of this card calls you to pause, take heart, and return to the miraculous simplicity of the moment. Through the gift of life alone, you are already part of the miracle of grace. You may feel overwhelmed by the pressure surrounding you, or isolated and disconnected from the beating heart of your sacred relationship to life. Perhaps you are overanalyzing things or measuring your progress by man-made yardsticks, which have no bearing on your spiritual identity. Without a doubt, there have been countless times when you sought guidance and grace was present, but went unnoticed. She can be found in the space between notes of a tune that call your body to dance and spirit to soar. She is hidden within the silence between breaths and in the very pulse of life itself. Look for her in the changing faces of Mother Nature. The next time you find yourself grumbling about the rain, remember these words from John Updike. Quote, rain is grace. Rain is the sky condescending to the earth. Without rain, there would be no life. End quote. When grace dances into your moments of loving connectedness, you will recognize her reassuring lightness of step. And regardless of circumstances, be both humble and grateful for the perfection in each moment. Cultivate the eyes to see and heart to merge with these gifts as they unfold bountifully in your daily life. And soon you will realize that the darkest days are never so daunting as to be beyond the reach of grace. Okay, so I feel like there's a real need lately. And I mean, this kind of sounds like it's a generalized statement because, I was going to say there's a real need for you lately to see the best in everything, right? The beauty in every moment. But that's kind of what we're all called to do. So what I would say, and specifically for you this week, is to figure out the ways that you can offer the simple act, and sometimes not so simple act, of grace. How can you teach others what grace is about through your own actions and words and, good deeds, the things that you say, how you react versus how you respond, things like that. I'm seeing people watching you this week, like, not suspiciously or spying on you or anything like that. It's not like a dangerous situation or like a spying type deal. But it's just like people looking to you to see what you're doing, what you've done in the past when you're in situations like the one that they're in. People are coming to you for your wisdom, or at the very least looking to you from afar for your wisdom. So the main message too that I'm hearing is like, always act as if others are watching and learning from you. Okay. I feel like you kind of do that anyway, but this week I want you to be very mindful of it, that there could really be someone or several someones who are looking to you to be either more spiritual, more loving, more graceful, more connected, things like that.
Okay. Perfect imperfection.
Is she still here?
I hope. I called her. I mean, I didn't see her leave, but I haven't seen her talk for a while. We don't usually see them
leave, right?
Yeah. Well, sometimes I do because they usually say goodnight. But
oh yeah, that's true.
But perfect. Are you here, hon?
I think she is. You're welcome, and you're welcome, guys. Hey, Jules.
Give her a little bit. Perfect imperfection. That's good.
Ooh.
Ooh. Oh, I saw this thing. This guy carves these birds and stuff out of bone ribs and stuff. And she did one of these owls all stacked up on a tree. I think I'm going to get it for you because it's so beautiful.
Nice.
Okay.
So, Smoochie, that's good. All right, who's next?
We're going to go ahead. I'll hold on to her. Melissa Nicole, are you still here? I thought I saw you pop your head out there a little bit ago.
Salvador, thank you. Yes, it has been a good night for readings.
Melissa, you still here, hon? And then Aaron Billings, are you still here? If not,
so
we'll just
Perfect Imperfection, Melissa Nicole, and Aaron Billings. Let us know if you're here, please.
She is here. Perfect is here.
Okay, I pulled your card. I put it off to the side. You got Lady with a Bosch Egg, Ancient Wisdom. And that's from the Oracles of Shadow and Light, and it's card number 31. The lady with the Bosch egg is the one in this lifetime who has been chosen to keep safe and sometimes keep secret deep esoteric knowledge. Throughout history's most troubled times, there have always been courageous beings ensuring that sacred knowledge was kept alive. Even though the world may burn and disasters befall humanity and wars take down cities, there will always be those brave souls who will take the knowledge represented by the Bosch egg, camouflage it, and keep it safe so that at a later time, when the world is finally ready, we can all learn. Yes, Perfect Imperfection, I'm reading for you now, honey. This is your card. The lady speaks. My town is on fire. The night sky is full of screams and smoke, and I have done what I can to safeguard this treasure from the sacred library. I will keep it safe, record its wisdom, and ensure that these truths stay alive for a future time. I hope that you understand the history of the knowledge you crave and respect and acknowledge the freedom of the times you now live in, and do the work yourself. It may be that at some time you too will find my egg and that you are the person chosen to speak of the knowledge others thought was lost. Or it may be that you too are a guardian of wisdom. If you are, know when to keep silent and what to keep to yourself. And know that some secrets come to light at the right time. I bring you now the symbols of the alchemists, the secrets of the Gnostics, and the wisdom of the magicians and the witches and the herbalists. All saved for this time in this strange form in this egg. Divination message. It may feel to you that you are receiving wisdom from ancient sources and that some of its energy may be unfamiliar to you or even dark. It is likely that you are receiving messages from times when people like you, misfits and mystics, were oppressed and punished for their natural gifts. Explore at this time something to do with the Renaissance or medieval times and understand that the knowledge was brought through to you, a very fortunate being living in very fortunate times. Keep it safe. Learn all that you can. Explore esoteric symbology, the history of magic with a K, not stage magic with a C, and spirituality. Know now that while you are safe, you may wish to keep silent about certain practices. I do not like the message that I'm being forced to give right now, but unfortunately, we've discussed things like this before. I even had to do it myself recently and was really upset about it, but perfect imperfection for this week, okay? Welcome back, Miss Lara. For this week, do not let people know too much. So, for instance, you might be in a situation where it could be literally, unfortunately, the times we live in still in some ways are like the medieval times or the dark ages, even, where we can't say things like I'm a witch or I'm going to curse you, or I got an oracle reading on the YouTube channel last night without being judged and possibly it being very detrimental to our life in the moment. And unfortunately, that's just the time that we live in. So while I cringe at giving this message and I don't like to do it, it is the message that's coming through, and therefore I am forced. Perfect imperfection in the next week or two. There will be a situation where you are going to have to be inauthentically as someone else, even if it's just for a moment. Do not admit to, working with Oracle, working with Spirit, practicing magic with a K, things like that. Really try to make yourself as small and as normal as possible. I don't think it's a situation that you're going to be able to avoid altogether. Otherwise, that would be the message instead of, don't be yourself. It's okay. The universe is giving you permission to not lie, but maybe just not tell the whole truth about who you really are inside. If you think you're half fairy, half human, maybe you don't want to say that when you're applying for, a job. You might just want to check the human box and not put fairy on there, things like that. It's going to be little things, but I think if you don't play this the right way, there could be consequences. Obviously, the universe isn't going to let it be anything that you're not going to be able to quickly get through and bounce back from. But why not avoid it altogether and just, of course, it's always up to you. You can stand firm in who and what you are. But even the universe is warning you, like, maybe you don't want to do that because something really big is at stake here. And you can very quickly move on from it or them if you just are like, I don't know what you're talking about, or maybe don't go full force. You don't want to threaten to curse the principal of your kid's school, because then you're going to have children in youth services knocking at your door for being a psycho parent, right? Things like that. Gem means Gemma. Menial, I'm just messing with you. A lot of people spell Gemma with a J. I was at the pizza place with RJ last week, and I was listening to two other moms talk about preschool and kindergarten. And the one lady said, oh, this is my daughter. These are my daughters, Isabella. And the one little girl I kept staring at because RJ was waving to her and she's waving at RJ. And I'm like, oh, she looks a little young for you, buddy. She was like 3 or like 2.5. She ended up being. And the mother's like, so this is Isabella, that's Gianna, and that's Gemma. And I'm like, oh, and RJ's like, that's like my mom. My mom is Gemma. And the lady's like, with a G or a J? And I'm like, oh, people really spell it with a J? I was like, no, I'm G. She's like, oh, so is she, so is she. And then the owner of the pizza place has a brand new baby granddaughter named Gemma as well, and a son-in-law named RJ.
You ready? You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm only kidding.
Aaron Billings. Sorry, Aaron.
Stop apologizing. You're fine.
I'm going to anyway.
Aaron, I'm going to use Dark Mirror. Well, Aaron, let's first make sure you're still here.
Yes, he said hello. He is.
He did? Okay.
Yes. He let me know he was here.
Yes, synchronicity. Exactly. And now the owner of the pizza place, his name is Massimo, and RJ's like, we got to go see Massimo. So every Sunday we go for pizza.
Hey, can you remember if Vixen Doe is next so I can step up for a minute?
So Aaron Billings I'm reading for now, and then Vixen Doe.
Vixen Doe.
Yes.
Yes, I'll be right back. Thank you so much.
Perfect Imperfection says, oh, I learned the hard way many years ago to keep my mouth shut most of the time. I will definitely follow that advice. I did too, but in a very again, a detrimental way. I think this is just going to be something in passing where it's like, you could stand up for it and you could speak, boldly about it. But at the end of the day, it's not going to change anything. And it's easier to just move forward from it. The universe never advises us to take the easy way out unless it's really the only way. So yeah, that's good. Please take the advice. Yes, of course we recognize you. You have the same picture and the same first name, but I do really like that you added that to the end. Yes, Cisco, you sure can. And welcome. Smoochy says, Gemma's readings for me have helped me keep my mouth shut sometimes. Sometimes we must, unfortunately. All right, Aaron, I'm just shuffling for you, honey. I'm using the Dark Mirror deck. Good night. Buenas noches. Good night, sweetie. Next time, let us know if you want a reading. Oh, you'll be right back again? You're confusing me, sir. All right, blinded to pain. Blinded by the light. Wrapped up. Whatever word they're saying, that could only be douche. Okay, Aaron. I can shoulder it, and it's not a big deal, isn't it? Flies pinned, not pinned, but ordered as bees, feeding on the neatly arranged blood. A woman's chest carved by a blade in a diamond pattern. Full lips, the color of blood. A blindfold on whom the last fly lingers. Check it out. Carving oneself for every stroke of whip and feeling so broken that it makes no difference to be whole. T.S. Eliot said, quote, a fly that lives a single day has lived as long as we, end quote. Yet we accept the passage of time like it didn't matter, like we don't matter. Every day, a single line is added to the pattern. A single fly is added to the wall. We take one more responsibility. We take a little more abuse. We shoulder a little more pain. We smile in front of a little more insolence. We close our eyes to the wounds. We think we can endure it. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt, we say to ourselves. Like men, because it's manly to endure and be strong. Like women, because it's feminine to endure and be strong. Like humans, because the care and gentleness we feel is precious to others and we don't dare to actually claim it for ourselves. After all, we can do it, but it actually hurts. It's painful. Tears are better than feeding flies with our own blood. We can scream and say no or endure nevertheless. But remembering that we are just humans, not heroes, or neither heroes nor saints. Yes, Smoochie. I'm sorry, Aaron, but yes, I can't imagine what else he could be saying. So every time I hear that song, I'm like, blinded by the light, something, something douche, something, something in the night. Could you please add Cisco, SISCO, to the list, please? Juice. Oh, I'm going to
Wrapped up like a deuce aroma in the night, blinded. But that's one of my favorite songs.
Wrapped up like a deuce.
Like a deuce, like aroma in the night.
Like aroma in the night. Okay. Got it. Never knew that. That's like that song by Michael Jackson.
You know who wrote that song, Blinded by the Light?
No.
Bruce Springsteen.
My future ex-husband.
Yep, he wrote it.
Juice, but I think his mouth was full of peanut butter.
He did drink a lot then.
Damn, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, like that Michael Jackson song where like for my whole life I thought he was saying, Mama say, Mama say, I'm not gonna stop. And he's saying, I'm going to say it one more time, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to say it one more time, I'm not going to stop.
I thought the same thing, so don't feel bad.
Bruce Springsteen, oh my gosh, I love him. I wish I could just run into him already. How long do I have to live in South Jersey before I'm going to run into Bruce Springsteen at a thrift shop? I mean, I go thrifting all the time. Okay, sorry. Aaron, did you add Cisco to the list? SISCO? Okay. So, Aaron, I said that like 40 times. I really feel like you are, again, so general because we all are, and to some degree or another, in a really painful spot in your life. But more than that, I'm really seeing you getting fed up with something or someone's mess. Okay. You are tired of persevering. You're tired of ignoring it. You're tired of pushing through it. You're tired of pretending like it's not happening. Like it's just been building and building and building. And unfortunately, this isn't a blame or an indictment or a judgment, but you've let it get so far now that you feel like your only recourse is to literally snap and like be like, no more. And unfortunately, if you do that, you're going to be stepping outside of yourself. What this card is saying is that, sure, it's great to take things as they come and to try to persevere as best we can. But if we continue to be someone's whipping boy or girl, or if we continue to reward bad behavior or refuse to acknowledge bad behavior at the very least, then we're contributing to the betterment of the sleeper society, the sleeper collective. There is someone here, and I do believe it's a someone. It could be a something, but I really believe it's a someone that you're just absolutely fed up with. If you have no idea what this is, I feel like someone who you were fed up with at one time is going to be coming right back into your life to do the exact same thing very soon. With that being said, there could be a situation here, and this is a little specific, where say, for instance, you're married and you and your significant other split up because you just couldn't take her verbal abuse anymore. It's been 6 months. She comes back. She's like, look, I got counseling. I got therapy. Like, I really want to try to make this work with you. I love you, da, 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 da. And you want to believe her because you love her too. You only left her because she was verbally abusive, not because you didn't love her. It's because you loved yourself enough to leave. So some situation you loved yourself enough to get out of, whether you realize that's what happened or not, is going to re-emerge, or a person is going to resurface. Do not be fooled. They have not changed. The situation has not changed. They are simply trying to get back in there because they're like, oh, that's Aaron. He's not going to say anything anyway. You know, he'll just put up with me and we'll go back to being exactly how they were. I'm sorry. No. The minute you see bad behavior this week, because it's not always conducive to like life to do so. But this week, the minute you see bad behavior being aimed and directed at you or someone else, you call it out. And you can do that with kindness and love and grace. Do not accept someone back in simply because they say they've changed. We talked about this last week. Love is an action word. It's a state of being. It's not really so much an emotion. Love is something you do. Okay? And you have every right to ask the person for some more time so that you can see that they've actually changed. You know, how bad do they want it? Enough to prove it to you? They're full of beans. Okay? Full of it. Someone is definitely trying to pull the wool over your eyes like they've done a million times before, and you're at risk for letting them. So this is the universe saying, like, nope, don't let it happen again. Call them out immediately, walk away. You know, don't let them get away with it.
Okay, Vixen Doe. Miss Vixen Doe.
So if you guys are interested in what crystals I'm using this week, I got this beautiful chunk of citrine. And my only piece of Dalmatian jasper. I don't know why I only have one piece of this stone. I've only ever had one piece, but I'm going to get some more. But these are the energies we're working with tonight. And combined with my moldavite, they seem to be doing good. I mean, I've got the snakeskin jasper on. I believe this is pyrite. I'm not sure about what this one is with the little microphone. But I know I've got the snakeskin jasper because that's like my legit new favorite. I'm obsessed. And then the lapis ring lotus gave me. This is a simulated emerald, so it's not really anything. But definitely some mega powerful energy. I'm impressed with these two stones and their ability together. It's not something you would normally put together. Most people put crystals together by how pretty they look together. Not me. I just intuitively feel them out. These are the types of crystals you will get if you order one of my spiritual helper or happiness packages, boxes, manifestation intention sprays. And don't forget, I got the little Valentine's love boxes going out. We'll have like holiday specific scents made for Valentine's Day from me, exclusive, where I'm not going to make them any other time of the year. And little Valentine's Day gifts. And of course, crystals, and more crystals. Possibly sage bundles, everything else that comes, resin incense burners. For the ladies, I just got a ton of beautiful, the earrings I usually wear with the turquoise in them. I got a ton of them that I specifically put away for people who order boxes from me. Aaron Billings, you hit the nail on the head, Gemma. Well, I'm glad that I did. So please be mindful of this, because nobody should be able to just continuously keep getting away with bad behavior. I have some of my family that does it, and I cringe. Yes, Lara, do me a favor, please, though. And oh no, I won't forget, because it's actually tomorrow. I was going to say text me and remind me, but you won't have to, because I'll be getting ready for stream. I'll send you the link around the same time as last week, and I'll text you first as well. Love you. Have a great night. Ooh, watermelon tourmaline and moldavite. That actually sounds like, just speaking of how things would look together, that actually sounds like it would look really cool together. I'm going to look up watermelon tourmaline. You know what I saw recently that I really liked? Red obsidian. Oh my gosh, I have seen it before, but it was called something else. Oh my gosh. Oh no, that's not it. You know what it looks like? It looks like rainbow fluorite, but it's not, because it specifically has the water. Oh my God, they're beautiful. Wow. Well, thank you for turning me on to that one, Aunt Edna. All right, who's next? I'm sorry. It's called either red or mahogany obsidian. It's really cool. I'm sorry, Stephen. Go ahead.
You're fine. Vixen Doe.
Vixen Doe. I'm going to use the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. I was doing yoga tonight, and I've been thinking about it a lot, right, guys? And so many of you guys, especially the men, not all of you, but a lot of you, the women included, cringe when I say yoga. Like, if I'm speaking to someone and they have abilities they're just coming into and they're having a really hard time, and this is with you guys or, personal clients in my real life, which I don't have that many anymore since I moved, but you have to find something to focus. So Tai Chi, Qigong, yoga, and karate are 4 of the ones I will mention the most, right? Karate to a lesser degree. So
Tai Chi is my vice.
So what I was thinking of doing, yeah, I know. And I have a feeling that that's like why you're always so calm too. What I was thinking of doing, and it might be funny, and I'll definitely have to turn comments off and see how it does, but I might put the app I use is Down Dog app, but there's plenty of meditations or yoga meditations everywhere. So I was thinking of setting up the camera so that you guys can see that even me, who's been doing yoga, I mean, I did it every day for like 2 years, and then this all happened and I had to stop for a little bit. I'm getting back into it. But even still, you can see how awkward, shaky, uncomfortable, strange, bizarre I look while doing these poses, but that I still do it every single day, so that you don't feel so bad when you try it and you're like, oh, my entire body is shaking. I can't hold this pose. I'm a mess too. So I was thinking about doing that, and just showing you guys that you're not alone in that, but it still pays to do it. It really does ground you and balance you. If it doesn't ground you, it balances you. And when you do yoga with crystals on the mat, oh my gosh, even more so. I do it every week before stream, at least 15 minutes, like immediately before, within the hour. All right, Vixen Doe, you got, I believe this is Aries in Saturn. Saturn in Aries, and it is the card of risk, but don't quote me on that just yet because I have to look up the little symbol. I have not memorized them yet. Yes, I got it. Saturn in Aries, the card of risk. With the Saturn and Aries personality, individuality, initiative, and activities which combine self-control and disciplined energetic work will make life achievements most possible, like yoga. Saturn Aries people rarely speak or act without having a definite decision in mind. They have good reasoning ability and are prepared to shoulder responsibility when necessary. People with this planet sign combination are loners in that they, more often than not, prefer to get on with things without asking for help or advice of others. For those with this aspect, there may be a call for great patience in situations in which the natural area and desire for quick action is frustratingly restricted. Highlight worker. The biggest danger comes when Aries' impetuosity gets the better of Saturn's restrictive common sense and provokes risky actions that may or may not succeed. Impetuous actions usually lead to frustrating holdups. In these instances, a good physical outlet for pent-up aggression comes in handy, such as the martial arts, in which discipline and natural energy combine. Right? Crazy. When this card is drawn in a reading, it indicates a tendency to take everything way too seriously and shows that allowing a sense of humor to express itself in the current situation will not denigrate conscientious work in any way. It is time to relax and take a measured risk. A justified risk taken to provoke new possibilities, a sudden regretted action after a long bout of concentrated and patient work, pushing oneself into a position of power through intense work. So Vixen Doe, honestly, I recommend some yoga or something that you can do every day, even if it's just a stroll, a 15-minute stroll, getting your body moving, your blood pumping, flowing, getting yourself more connected energetically to your own energy. Because when we're go-getters like Saturn and Aries people, we tend to just go and get, I guess is the only way I could really explain it, in that we don't stop to smell the coffee or the roses. We don't, we have no time for anything or anyone that's slowing us down. And while I don't feel like this is your actual placement, I feel like this energy could be coming in this week, or it's just blown through your life. And this week is going to be the time for you to recuperate, rejuvenate, stop overthinking, overstressing, over worrying. I always recommend and suggest that, obviously, but this week, like, to an extreme degree. If you can disconnect, go ahead and do so. Remember that other people's decisions don't necessarily have to affect your life's work or your life's purpose. I feel like, again, and I felt this with you a few times in the past, where you are getting all of this unsolicited advice of people telling you that decisions you're making are wrong or not conducive to you living your best life or your own happiness. You have abusers in your midst just waiting for the next chance they can to pounce on you. And the wonderful thing about it is I see you almost partially blind to all of this as you just go about your day-to-day and focus on Vixen Doe. The problem with it is I see that you're getting energetically worn down by these emotional straws, these human straws, these emotional vampires, I should say, where even though you don't realize it, just being in these people's general vicinity is going to take away all your energy and replace it with toxicity, fracture, right? Chaos. Make a mindful choice this week to communicate and interact with others as little as possible. And I'm not telling you to become a hermit for, the next 5 weeks, but for this week, maybe see how much you can do just spending time with yourself, and by, really getting to reconnect with and getting to know Vixen Doe again, because you're doing amazing. And like I said, there are these outside influences, and the way it's being shown to me is like people, like they're like this, a bush is up to here and they're like peeking out of the bush, like at your house. That doesn't mean you have a stalker. It's the way that they're showing me people just waiting in the wings for their chance to come in and destroy something else that you've just built up. I don't know why you have these people attached to you. We all have them to some degree, but you seem to have right now a little bit more than we most have, than most of us usually have, I should say. So please be careful of that. Beware of that. Don't make like any new out of the blue friends this week. Don't reconnect with past lovers and or friends this week. Stick to who and what you know just for the week, and you're going to be just fine.
Okay. Ralph. Sir Ralph. And I like to add to that, Vixen, you said you did do Tai Chi. Go back to it. It will help you focus and make you more aware of your surroundings.
Ralph, I am going to use the ancestor spirit.
I could just see me doing yoga.
Oh, Jules, I missed part of that. Finding people without preconceived notions, especially in certain areas of our life, it almost feels impossible. You know, it's one of the reasons I turned to YouTube in the first place, was because I couldn't handle people being like, so what? You've been cleaning sober for 2 months. And like, to me, that was like the biggest accomplishment anyone ever had, like more than like us landing on the moon. Like for me, it was that significant. And people were like, you know, big deal. And I was looking for a connection, and they all had this preconceived notion that I was just going to relapse anyway. I mean, because 2 months is nothing. Or, you know, when I said I was writing a book, I had people asking my mom if I was lying, why I was lying about writing a book to make myself sound better than I was. You know what I mean? Like things like that. And like people automatically have preconceived notions about people who believe in mysticism, spirituality, people who get oracle readings, people who read oracle, you know, God forbid. And it is really hard. But what's worse is when you can't find someone on the inside without preconceived notions, in my opinion. Nut slap, all late to the party. Ralph, upskill. Didn't we get this one last week for someone? Work, career, and crossroads.
Say it again.
Okay.
Huh? No, forget it. You got it.
You are stuck at a crossroads, and more information or education is the way forward. Upskilling or studying may be the solution to a career or finance issue. It is time for a change, Ralph. Empowering yourself with new skills and knowledge will help you direct this change. You are ready to make a positive shift, but may have been underestimating your ability to study or master something new. You do not necessarily need to do formal study at a college or university. Doing a short course, attending a seminar, or completing a weekend workshop might be a good place to start. Be courageous and disciplined like the ancient Greek warriors. Do not settle for a job or career that does not suit you well. Ask yourself how you could stimulate your career progress and increase your opportunities. Be honest with yourself about what you could improve and take steps toward achieving what you want in your career. Now is the perfect time for you to go forward and make these changes. So you could possibly be looking for a change in your career or a promotion of some sort. I am getting this, you know, as far as having to do with work. It's always a good idea if you're looking for a promotion to, you know, learn everything that you can, you know, do what you can to impress your boss or to prove your knowledge of the work, right? What I'm getting though is an opportunity to learn something new that may not seem practical to you in the moment, like this week or next week when this opportunity comes in. And the universe is like, you know, don't be so quick to turn this opportunity down, because it could end up having a really amazing effect on people around you that have the ability to provide you with better opportunities at work, in your career, or just in life in general. So don't be so quick to say no. Don't go into anything this week or next week with a preconceived notion of what it is, or definitely make sure you know everything there is to know about an opportunity or about a person before accepting it and or them into your life. I find you're going to be pleasantly surprised for once. A situation or a person is going to completely, totally, unexpectedly surprise you and lead you down the path of betterment for your finances specifically, I'm seeing, okay? So don't be so quick to say, you know, no, I don't want to go bungee jumping, or, you know, no, and you can't bring your friend Bob to my house for the weekend to hang out. You know what I mean? Trust in the people around you to help you make those kinds of decisions for this week. You know, a lot of times we really can't trust in the people around us, but for this week, Ralph, you're safe. Home base, you can.
Okay, Salvador.
You're very welcome. Salvador, let's do deep, dark, and dangerous. Who's leaving, Jules or Tracy?
Did I miss Tracy? Did we pull Tracy?
Well, Tracy came in later, so that's okay. I don't think we did pull Tracy.
Because she's actually before Salvador. I screwed up.
Okay, Tracy, are you leaving? If you are, why don't you hang out for a minute? I'll do your reading now. If you're not, I just saw you say have a good night, so I assumed that's what you were doing.
Yes, I screwed up.
I'm just trying to see what, okay, this card keeps popping out for Salvador. That's twice. So I'm going to put this aside for a minute and see what Tracy is doing.
So Tracy, if you're here, please come back. That was me. I did have you on the list, and I just looked down and went, how did I skip her?
All right, Miss Tracy, going once. Going twice. All right, Tracy, I'm going to message you tomorrow, like an hour beforehand. Okay. And Jules, you and I have also an appointment for tomorrow. I didn't forget about it. I'll message you before I send you the link. Okay. So Salvador, I left a card by accident sitting there when I was first shuffling. And then I put it back in the deck and I shuffled again. And the same card popped out. So it's the card of Hades, the underworld. And it's card number 7. It's a deep card. Everything has a cycle and a time span. Death is a natural part of life. Plan a legacy. What matters most? Knowing this helps you live a better life. Move through change. What ideas have passed their use by date and can be left behind? Okay, so I want to just start right here because a message is coming in for you to try your best, not just this week, but going forward, and just be extra mindful of it this week if you can, of what really matters in your life and who really matters and who and what you're wasting so much energy on, you know, like a jerk boss you're constantly trying to impress when there's no, yeah, Tracy, you're going to be next, honey. Okay. Bye, New England. I'll talk to you Monday or Tuesday when there's no chance of you really gaining anything from it. And it's not that we should only be nice to people, you know, if there's something to gain, but being nice and jumping through hoops to try and please somebody are two very, very different things. Okay. So please try to only, again, for this week and going forward, please try to only exert maximum energy on people and things that really mean something to you, that are really worth your time and worth your effort and worth your energy. There is a myth that many people do not know about the Greek underworld of the god Hades. Hades has 2 brother gods, Zeus and Poseidon. When their father Kronos divided up the kingdoms of the world so as to not cause a fight, the brothers decided the fairest way was to draw lots for their kingdoms. Hades inherited the underworld by lot, and his brothers Zeus and Poseidon received the sky and the sea, respectively. While Zeus was the leader of the 3, Hades was neither monstrous, evil, nor ugly. Like many dark gods, Hades has a bad reputation simply because of his association with death and darkness. As one of the gods of the underworld, Hades was well respected by Greeks, and they were careful to honor him well. Yet, of course, he was also feared. No worries, Tracy. Unlike, say, Ares, Hades was not a particularly nasty god and even looked for love a little more seriously than his brothers. The story of Persephone is possibly the most famous story featuring Hades, and one that shows that death is just another cyclic part of life. In the oldest form of the myth, Hades falls in love with Demeter's daughter Persephone, and it is a chaste and proper love. Hades goes to Zeus for permission, and Zeus promises Persephone's hand in marriage. Unfortunately, Zeus does not tell the women this and forgets his promise altogether. Hades waits and waits and waits some more. One day, while watching his love happily frolicking on a day out with her friends, Hades rises up out of the ground and kidnaps her. He takes her down deep to his dark domain of the underworld and tries to woo her, explaining that she was promised to him. Demeter, goddess of agriculture and a dedicated mother, searches the world for her daughter. She is, of course, no longer to be found on the surface of the earth. In her huge grief, Demeter stops facilitating the growth and production of all food and all plants. Everything dies back. There is no food, and the race of man begins to starve. Meanwhile, Hades offers Persephone a red pomegranate. This is the fruit of death, and anyone who eats of this must stay in Hades. By this time, the gods have figured out that Hades has Persephone, and Zeus asks his brother to free her. However, Persephone has partaken of 6 seeds of the fruit, so Hades now has claim to her. In fairness, Demeter negotiates with Hades so that Persephone can live 6 months of the year with Hades and 6 with her. Persephone becomes queen of the underworld in her own right, and then, led by her torch-bearing friend Hecate, rises from the realm to spend time with her mother for the rest of the year. So this is how the seasons were formed. Every 6 months, the earth dies back, and Hades claims the winter season and his bride. Then Demeter claims her daughter back for the growing of seasons of spring and summer. The underworld is a realm like any other, and one that, although full of mystery, is full of possibilities. Death is the step before rebirth. A fallow field with nothing growing is necessary so that new things may be planted and spring forth again. The underworld, like our unconscious, is a place of infinite possibilities. Your plant companion is the lily, and your crystal companion is black tourmaline. Yeah, sometimes these are pretty long, but okay. So, Salvatore, I would just say things are not exactly what they seem, but that's going to work out really well for you if you're willing to take a risk this week. So an offer that comes in that looks like something bad that you're kind of obligated to do could turn out being the opportunity of a lifetime because you did whatever it was well and with grace and dignity. I feel like you should not be so quick to turn down opportunities or turn people away this week simply because, you know, they have a bad rap, a bad reputation, or because other people don't think it's a good idea for you to accept the opportunity or accept the person into your friendship or friend group or relationship zone. You know, make up your own mind and decisions this week. You should always be doing that, but specifically this week, because I'm telling you, there is something happening with something completely unexpected that if you don't take a risk and kind of go against the crowd, go against the grain, if you will, you're going to miss a fantastic opportunity, either with a person or in a specific situation. This is black tourmaline. I send out a piece of this in a selenite stick the first time I send to anyone a box, to the best of my memory. So if you got a box from me, most likely, I can't say every time, but most likely you got a piece of this to go along with a selenite wand. All right, Tracy, I'm going to use the Divine Circus.
Thank you, Gemma. That was my boo-boo.
That's okay. Oh, you're so welcome. Tonight's vibe is off. I don't feel it. How so, Andrew?
I'm good. I'm just here for the ride, doing my job, being a secretary.
No, I'm not talking to you. Andrew said tonight's vibe is off weird.
You might be in a weird kind of vibe.
Yeah, I feel like we're just as always. Okay. Oh, there it is. Meant for you, Tracy. Card number 1. You've voiced your intent, setting in motion a natural creative process. What you want has been summoned forth and is now headed your way. Don't hesitate, refuse to receive, or pass this gift on to another. It is meant for you. Grab it. Within this new opportunity is exactly what you've been waiting for, what you have been wanting to create, and what truly makes your heart sing. What is rightfully yours is, or very soon will be, right in front of you. Caught up in a spiraling wave of new beginnings, it is the time to reach out and grab what is headed your way. Opportunity is the universe believing in you. Return the compliment by accepting what is being offered with open arms and a trusting heart. You'll be glad you did. Don't worry if this opportunity seems to be leading you down a different path to what you expected. This is going with our theme tonight, Tracy. All paths lead us to where we need to be. Sometimes the universe just has a better idea of what will get us to our destination at the perfect time, and along the pathway that will be of most benefit to all involved. Trust what is happening. Accept that you deserve good things to happen to you, and don't be shy. Now is your time to step up, open your mouth and your arms, and say, thank you, I accept. Guys, don't forget Super Chats, Super Stickers, PayPal, and Cash App. Don't forget about those. Tracy, this is almost like what I was telling Salvador and a couple of other people before him. Opportunity and major life experiences, positive and for the better, are coming in for you this week and or next week, except they're coming again in a way that you never would have expected. So I'm going to use the example again of, say you've been waiting to get a promotion and, you know, the promotion goes out to someone else, but you are offered another job doing something at a, you know, lower pay, right? Or at the same rate of pay. So you're like, I'm not going to take that other job. I'm already doing this job. I'm making the same amount of money and I was supposed to get a promotion. But if you trust in the universe, okay, especially this week with getting this card, take that job, do it with grace and dignity. Don't hold any grudges. Keep your chakras cleared, no blockages, and do your job to the best of your ability. Within no time, you are going to come under the opportunity of something even better than the original promotion that you were so hoping to have received in the first place. And you're going to be able to look back and be like, oh, that's why I didn't receive that promotion. Something like that. And it literally could be anything. But if you don't have your eyes open to it, and if you're not willing to accept anything less than what the particular and specific idea that you have in your head about who, how, what should be coming into your life, how it's supposed to be, then you're going to be sorely disappointed and you're going to miss incredible opportunities for growth and just opportunities for life in general. Please trust in the universe. Tell the universe you trust it and then act as if you do. By accepting anything that comes your way, you should feel an intuitive hit. Despite it not being exactly what you imagined or exactly what you wanted, you should get even the smallest little intuitive hit or zap that it is the right thing. If you really think about it and really search and like meditate and think on it, even if just for a minute or two, you'll see that it's the right way to go. And it's actually the universe pulling you onto a totally different path. Monster Radio, you're being asked if you are here.
Yep. And actually, Darling Deb is next.
Okay.
And I'm just making sure if he's here or not, if Monster Radio is here, but I don't know. They kind of come in and say hi a lot of times, hang out a little bit, then they leave.
Whoops. Darling Deb, I'm going to use the Vampire Oracle. Ooh. You're very welcome.
Trying to get my list back in order. I kind of screwed up. Now I'm trying to get everything back in order.
Just make sure Samantha goes after Jewel so I don't.
Yeah, I wrote it down beside her name. So how is everybody doing tonight? I really never did ask. I'm getting the hotel blues.
I don't know if it's just me or if you're like super low.
I'm super low tonight. My voice is a little ragged out from talking on the phone.
Knowledge, study, learning, and education. This is another card that comes up often in this chat. The vampires speak. The vampires speak. Deb. Can you imagine what it would be like to have a lifetime likely to stretch for over 1,000 years or more to learn, to study, and to discover? For this is what we vampires have, an eternity to study knowledge. The best of our kind take this miraculous opportunity to study, learn, and develop wisdom. And with this card, we can see that knowledge now seeks you. Ask yourself, what do you wish to learn? We can share what we study. When we learn, it is to fulfill our need to understand what is left of our human selves. We wish to reach a greater depth of understanding about the sensual life we lived, the cold we felt, the way in which humanity has developed. Your medicine, your technology, while your nature and a part of ours is left untouched, still primal. When you receive this message from us, it is time to consider the great treasure houses of wisdom that exist in your world. It is time to step beyond being entertained by the trivial sideshow of mainstream television and entertainment, to cease sleepwalking through your life and become aware of the decreasing span of your precious mortal days. Ask yourself, what is it you wish to learn? A language, to paint, to think, and to think well. To use your gift of the human mind. Perhaps medicine, herbalism, and other helpful sciences attract you. The blessing of this, I missed it. You have many more spans of time ahead of you, and there is knowledge waiting for you. You simply need to go to the library and treat it as the magical treasure trove of information that it is. Think not on how long it will take for you to learn. Think of how joyous the knowledge will be and how much achievement you will feel when it comes to you. Blessing, you know you are being called to become a student again, a true student, and follow in the long line of brilliant ones who learn so much and then pass the knowledge on again. Books will figure greatly, as will reading, research, and note-taking. There may even be lectures at which you could spy on one of your undead friends, radiating happiness that you are finally stepping into the full brilliance of your beautiful intelligence. Curse, you may feel that you are tired of study or that you are too something, too old, too busy, too short of money to open the books of knowledge and learn. But the library of the world's wisdom is now being opened to you, and you would do well to have a disciplined approach. Working with this card, you will be divinely guided to find the right course to study and the best books for you to read at this time. You're always learning, and this is what makes you wise. I feel like you're searching for an answer or answers to something. I don't see this as you going back to school. It could be, or trying to, further your career. I just feel like you're trying to learn, and it could be metaphysical, where like you're looking to learn more about crystals or more about your life path, or you're reaching out to intuitive knowers and seers, psychics, mediums. I'm getting this pull toward the metaphysical for you, Tracy, but I'm not seeing what the reason is. It's like some sudden course of events or change of course has you on this spiritual journey. And I don't feel like it's a journey you've been on your entire life. Like some of us are constantly searching for whatever the knowledge is, but I feel like this kind of just occurred to you that you can learn about this stuff and proceed to greater depths or higher realms from there. So don't be hard pressed against, researching what it is you want to know, going to people who you trust for information, taking things with a grain of salt until you find fact and evidence to back it up, or until it does come from somebody you trust, and not fearing the results of this quest for knowledge of whatever this is about. This is a tricky one. I'm not really understanding, but I hope that you are. And if you're not, within the next week or so, you definitely will be. There's something drawing you, pulling you in, calling to you to learn more about it, to study it, to become one with it. And I do feel like it's something about your nature, like, your light work, your past lives, something to that effect. New Englander Rhodey, you're back. Yay. You're muted.
Maybe I'll just stay that way. Anyways, no, he was next anyway, so he is next. I thought he left. I took him off the list, and then he popped back
New
in.
Englander Rhodey?
Yeah, then he popped right back in when he was supposed to. So we'll go ahead and do him, and then after him, Mike Roberts.
All right. Darling Deb, it's crystals and meditation 100%. Yeah, I'm getting that. Don't be afraid of what you find, right? Knowledge is power regardless of if it's about something good or evil, get all the facts, get both sides of it, all sides of it, really, because there's so much to it. There's a reason you're being led to this. It's just not going to be revealed to you for a while. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. Andrew, I think it's just because he's stuck living in a hotel with another dude and they don't even have doors on their bedrooms.
Yeah, it's kind of rough sometimes. And he can be kind of loud. Bless his heart.
All right, New England. Maybe see what we got here. Let's go with Wisdom of the House of Night.
Cisco, you're about 10 down, okay?
You came in kind of late, honey, compared to everyone else anyway. Confidence. Card number 42. There are a few of my chosen ones who have the confidence and courage to live forever. There is one such immortal being who has kept this oracle safe in a castle in the Isle of Skye to be given to you when the time is right. This time is now. This is your time. The world needs you. Much is going to be asked of you as you move through your life's challenges and receive my gifts. Know that I have chosen you and that you have everything you need to make the right decision. With your head held high and walk with your head held high and take the next step toward your goal with confidence. I will be with you every step of the way. So you could be dealing with a bout of, maybe not feeling so confident about the state of your life these days, the state of your affairs, your relationships, whatever it is. It could be literally any number of things that you're kind of questioning and maybe wondering where you went wrong. And I actually, personally, I know that, but this card is more saying, like, continue on the path you're on. Like, you're making the right decisions. You're taking the right steps. Just be sure that whatever comes up on this journey, you never, ever approach or act out of fear. Because once you do, like, when we act or react out of fear, it's never a good thing. It is always, it just never leads anywhere good. We never end up making the right choices. We always end up kind of bungling things. And this is a time period in your life where you really need to be on point, because I can see that you're super motivated to get to the bottom of and take care of what and whoever this is and or whoever. So don't let fear hold you back. Don't let the opinions of others hold you back. I really wouldn't even be asking advice of people in your personal life who don't understand what you're going through and experiencing. You're dealing with something, I don't want to say supernatural, but you're dealing with something unknown now, something other. So you might not have that many people to lean on about it. Stick to the people you can lean on, work through it, and act with confidence, grace, and dignity to get the job done so you're able to confidently move forward and change your life for the better.
Mike Roberts.
Unbelievable.
What I do now?
The reason I give you that look all the time is because you genuinely look like, no matter how many times I give you that look, you are always like, I'm serious. Thank you, New England Dirt Roadie. I do appreciate that. I cheated a little bit because I know a lot of your personal situation now, but that would have came up one way or the other. So I'm sorry, Stephen. What were you saying?
No, you're fine, because I know I give you looks that you kind of go, huh?
Hi, Blue Crossroads. Welcome, welcome.
Hello, sir. How are you? I hope you're
all right,
well.
Mike Roberts. Mike Roberts, you're still here, right?
Yes, but I'm going to write down this thing just in case he had to step out real quick.
Okay.
So.
Can you also, when you're done with that, call the next 3 so that they can respond if it's not?
Yes, I've been trying to do that. Yeah. So I got you covered. I'm trying.
All right, Eris, come right back. Okay, Mike, illusory obstacles. We all face obstacles that can impede our journey and slow our momentum. Sometimes external influences are at play, and to move forward, our only choices are to find a way to overcome the obstacle or take a different direction. There are also times when we create illusory obstacles for a variety of reasons. We may unconsciously recognize that we are heading in the wrong direction, and the obstacles are there to tell us to go back the way we came. We may need to reconsider and reevaluate what we want to achieve because our circumstances have changed. There are also times when we create illusory obstacles because we are scared of success, reaching our destination, and manifesting a hard-earned outcome. We perform acts of self-sabotage. We create issues or behave in a manner that prevents us from actioning or achieving our goals because success has the potential to change our lives, and that change brings a degree of uncertainty. We may also unconsciously believe that we are not deserving of success. If there is a situation where you feel your progress is being hampered, it might be time to pause and consider whether the obstacles are real or, in fact, you are creating illusory obstacles. The former may be beyond your means to control, but the latter is of your own making. If you are weaving the illusions, you also have the power to banish them. This wee dragon messenger asks if you believe the door to be real or if you see it for the illusion that it is. I definitely feel like, obviously, like everyone else in the world, you have real obstacles standing in your way that you have to overcome. But Mike, I've been saying this to you for a long time. A lot of it is in your head for not only fear, but also for your conditioning. You've been conditioned to settle for less. You've been conditioned to take third and fourth place, third and fourth best. You've been conditioned to feel like it's inevitable that you fail. And even coming into spirituality, coming into, this incredible journey that you've been on and all the successes that you've achieved, you've been conditioned to only focus on the perceived failures. These types of things are illusory obstacles. If you want to work with this energy and get yourself kind of pulled out of it, I would suggest what I always do, the manifestation techniques, the guided meditations while you sleep or otherwise, reaching out to friends who care and actually know what it is that you're feeling and or talking about, taking the advice of a trusted spiritual advisor, taking active and proactive steps and measures to bring yourself back into alignment with abundance and opportunity. I feel like for most of the blockages you have, 98% of them are self-inflicted, self-imposed. It's like you're in a self-imposed prison because that's where you've been conditioned to be. And as much as you started to pull out of it for a while there, it's like the minute you didn't make sure someone was kind of, I don't mean this in a mean way, but it's going to sound that way, but I hope you know me well enough to know I don't mean it mean. But like as soon as there was no one there to babysit you on your journey, you kind of lost track of yourself, you lost track of everything, and you fell right back into the dumps again. So what I want you to do is try to oversee, I should have said oversee, and or babysit yourself and hold yourself accountable, okay, for your actions. Make yourself be responsible for these perceived failures, and then see how much of it is really a failure and not a complete and total necessary learning experience, caused by you from the universe for you to learn from it and move on.
Okay. Andrew Trucking.
Andrew and Gnomes, I'm going to use the Halloween Oracle for you as well. That is really awesome, Blue Crossroads. I so wish I was closer or able to travel. March 11th. Menial scientist, I agree. Time is definitely a fiction. Okay, Andrew. Let's see. That's usually what I do when something like that happens. And I've gotten some crap for it sometimes where people like, if you know the location of somebody, you should contact the authorities. And I'm like, it doesn't really work that way. Then on the subject of an intense police investigation, my entire life is publicized and scrutinized only at the end of the day for everyone, you know, to think I'm a whack job. Like, no, I'm not dealing with it. They can do their own job. And a lot of the times, if I reach out to the family, it just causes them more devastation because most of them don't believe in me. And those that do believe in me have no recourse except to contact the authorities, who in turn do everything terrible that I just accuse them of doing. Hearth, happiness in our hearts and home. The ancient Romans believed that every home had a hearth and it was the hearth. Where the fire burned, the family gathered for sustenance, communication, and protection. This concept was so important to the culture that there was a huge city hearth, the Vestal Temple, where the fire of the home goddess Vesta burned forever without ever going out. This sacred flame was protected by the soldiers with their very lives should there be an invasion. The place where the goddess Vesta was honored within every ordinary home was also the hearth, and it is where women prepared food and cooked. Some of the food was always offered back into the fire as an offering to Vesta for her blessing and protection. Often husbands were sent away on military duty for years on end, and their wives at home were not just expected to keep the home and often the business running, but to wait for their husbands faithfully until their return. They prayed to Vesta to ensure their family members' safe return and to keep the fires of love stoked. The saying, "keep the home fires burning," was inspired by this practice. Should the hearth card appear in your divination, you are being asked to look at your idea of what home and family is for you. Take the time to build up your love fire and have it burning brightly. Make your relationships a priority. If there is conflict within your home and family, it is time to take concrete steps to address the issues for good. If you or a member of your family is away from home due to travel or work, know that protection is being given. That's you. You travel for work. So this is confirmation that you are divinely protected, but also being divinely guided. I don't know what your romantic status is, but I do feel some romantic love coming in for you. But that's a long-term thing. Well, it's short-term technically, but due to these readings being a week or two, it's long-term. So 3 to 6 months. I'm getting more of a self-love. You know, what does your heart yearn for? What does your fire burn for? What do you desire most? And how can you go about prioritizing getting it? You know, if you're happy and content exactly where you are and can't think of a single thing that you want, that you additionally want or would rather have than what you already do, then good for you. But I feel like there has to be something. I don't get discontent from your energy anymore. I actually get a very happy, a very pleased sense of being for the most part. But there is something here where you could be taking a little bit better care of yourself physically, mentally, spiritually. And I would just focus on that for the next week or two. Oh, and I saw your email, but I didn't have a chance to get back to it. She said the box that Gemma sent, she's in big trouble, was packed full of goodies, crystals, incense, candles, all kinds of things. And she sent a signed copy of her latest book. She's too much. I love you. And every once in a while, I will just randomly kind of choose someone that's always in here, you know, that's always a positive part of the chat, and I'll send something to. It just happened to be Christmas, and I was like, you know what, Anna, Edna, you know, you're a big part of this stream. And if I haven't sent you something yet, either I don't have your mailing list or it'll eventually come. So don't feel left out, because so many of us make up this stream, not just me, not just Steven. And I just wanted to thank you. You've been a major support in my life, and I just love you. I feel like you are an actual blood relative to me. You're probably a spiritual sister or a spiritual aunt. And I'm really glad you enjoyed it. And I'm really glad everything showed up in one piece. That was my main concern. Who is next? You're on mute.
UFO.
I had to tell you. You already knew. Dang it. I thought he was going to do it again.
UFO.
Ufology? Ufologist.
Yep.
Oracle of the Shapeshifter. Yes, you definitely are, Anna. I am. I promise. I am saving.
All you women are so sweet, and I'm just this grouchy old dragon hanging out in a hotel with a grouchy old dragon. So nice
You
to be
are
here with all
far
of you.
from grouchy, dude. I feel like I'm the grouch. Like when we hang out, I am the grouchy one. I'm always like, "Why are you doing that?" And he's like, "What did I do?" He's like, "I'm sorry." He doesn't even know what he did, but apologizes anyway.
It's the way I am.
I'm like, "You literally just stopped in the middle of the highway because you missed the exit." And he's like, "I'm sorry." Starts like backing up. I'm like, "We're on the highway."
Oh, hey, you got to forgive me. I was still getting used to Jersey traffic.
I know. It was funny though, because it happened so many times. I actually did, like, I started getting angry because I was afraid we were going to get hurt because
And I don't blame her.
we had the GPS on. So I was, kind of showing him the GPS out of the corner of his eye, which I didn't expect him really to see. I had it on loud and I was reiterating what the GPS was saying and he was still doing it. So I'd be like, "Oh man, you missed a turn." So instead of just taking the next exit, he'd slam on the brakes when everyone else is doing like 75 and 80 around us.
And not
and
all
then try
the
to
time.
start backing up, or he'd be like,
couple
"What? Where do I go?" I'm like, "Dude, like."
But it was much better when I went back the second time.
Yeah, no, the second time was better.
Man,
but he's scary sometimes to drive with. But had it not been for you, I would have been in a lot of trouble multiple times. So definitely not complaining, and I always appreciate you. But it was at those points, I was like, "I'm gonna kill him. Just gonna."
Well, a lot of that too, remember, was the tolls. I kept forgetting about the tolls.
I didn't understand that. So I don't drive, guys, and I haven't driven in a really long time. And even when I did drive, I lived in Pennsylvania. So, and I didn't come to Jersey that often. It was like a 3-year period, but whatever. So the highway shifts, okay? And you can either go to the right or to the left. If you go to the right and go through the toll, you eventually end up at the same place where you would have taken to go to the left. So I'm like, why would anyone pay a toll if you don't have to? Obviously, you don't have to pay a toll. I didn't realize there were like tickets involved. But it was so confusing.
And when I got home, I had $150 ticket waiting for me.
All right, I'm sorry. Who is this?
But it was all good. I got it all taken care of. No big deal.
Who ufologist? Oh, Blue Crossroads, I'm sorry it was so late, but I am glad you got it. He said, "I just want to say Gemma sent me a card representing the chat, showing me much love and support. Know all of the chat, that your words, love, and support does not go unnoticed or unloved. Thank you all." And we do know that. And I just, I wish I was closer to you to be able to do so much more. And I'm sure so many of us do,
Yes, I do. I do.
And Edna, you are absolutely right, which is why I have a hard time in the house with my mom having COPD. When you sage, use a lot of smoke, right? Make the smoke detectors go off. Start at the bottom and go to the top, praying all the while, then open a window and let all the smoke out. That's how I do it. And that is actually technically the proper way to sage. Always make sure, ufologists, I'm sorry, just give me a second. Always make sure that you have at least a window open if you're saging to remove and clear negative energies and especially entities, because otherwise what happens is you trap them and then they get even more pissed. You don't know how many times I've done a walkthrough through a house where they're like, all of a sudden after I saged, and they thought like saging in general was the cause of the massive ramp up in their haunting. And what actually happened was, they trapped this already lower vibrational spirit in like a corner of the one bedroom because they boxed it in and didn't open a window. Open a window or door in every room, even if it's just this much, and show it. Exit through this window. Anything not of love, life, peace, or for my highest good, the highest vibration of the universe, exit through, exit stage left. And that's it. Don't ask it, tell it adamantly. Great. I'm shuffling this whole time without a card. All right, here we go. Bats in the Belfry. You can achieve great things, ufologist. This is such a cute card. Card number 7. About bats in the belfry. These companions will teach you how to be upside down in life for a time, to fly against the mainstream views, and to find your way when you could see no way ahead at all. They will assist you in moving far beyond the cares and conditioning that told you to stay enraptured by limiting beliefs, to remain in thrall of your fear of being different. The bats and their astounding skills, sensitivity, and talents will help you to accept that you must begin to live with even more courage, imagination, and boldness, even when you are misunderstood. They will show you how, in time, you will become an inspiration because you choose to live with valor, excitement, and beauty. The bats' only question for you now is, what's next? With these friends, no fear can even touch you. Bats in the belfry speak. Others may say you are indeed batty, and this ascendancy has seemed mad even to you at times. The current state has been preceded by a heavy, hurtful climb. Just because no one can quite see how you've made it to the top does not mean you did not have to do that climb. There was no magical lift, no easy way up, nor did you fly, but you did follow your instincts, and we, the bats, the ones who can see you in the dark, led you to your current place. Now you are here, and so many wonders you can see, and so peaceful and fine it feels to be high above it all. The air is fresh and clean, and you can see just where you need to go in the future. There will be a time to start the next great journey, but for just a moment, take time and enjoy the wind at your back, the incredible views stretching out before you, and the freeing sense of detachment from the cares and woes of all those who said it could never be done, that you did not have the skills, that you could not climb so high. You have. You have done so well. Now take a moment and enjoy the magnificent view and all of the wisdom this height can offer you. See the future directions and where you made what others may call mistakes, and see how those below stay stuck. And I know you need only ask know you need only ask for our help, especially when the darkness falls, and you will find your way to the beginning of another great journey into places that others say it is not possible to go. You have shown it to be so. Now let us take in this glorious view. Divination. Through the choices you have made, you have managed to actively show that it is possible to do what others once insisted cannot be done. You have clearly shown that the miracle that is your life is a result of the decisions you made to no longer be limited by fear and conditioning. You have been so very brave. The choices before you now are expansive. Don't become too lightheaded. Consult yourself and heed the advice of others who have broken free and are flying high as well. Take the advice of those who have dared to achieve their dreams, not those who suggest you stay safe by never daring to even dream at all. So, ufologists, the main thing I kept hearing from basically the second I picked this card up, okay, is a change in perspective. I do feel like many opportunities have been being presented to you, especially recently. I don't know if it's in your career or in your relationships, just something you've always dreamed of doing. You may have either found a way to start or have already started. This card is saying, go with it. Roll with your intuition. Expect only the best. Give yourself permission to prosper. And please do not listen to anyone who is selfishly or otherwise trying to stop you or hold you back. This week and next week, I'm seeing something dawn on you about someone or about some situation. Like this immediate kind of random download, this change in perspective from something how you've always looked at everything regarding this one situation or person, to now being like, oh my gosh, how did I never see this before? It's so obvious right in front of me. But what are you going to do? Are you going to fall back on like pretending that what's happening isn't really happening because it's just more convenient? Or are you going to take the reins and get yourself out of there and moving on to brighter and greener pastures, bigger and better things? Definitely a change of perspective for the better coming in. Okay. And opportunities, like I said, this week, next week, previously in the past couple of weeks or months, just all kind of flowing in to the point where it could become a little overwhelming, because then it's not that fear of failure. It sometimes becomes the fear of success. And deep down, we don't even realize it. But your whole world is going to blow up regarding one person or thing in a really good way. It's just like you're going to see something so differently. It could be an extraterrestrial download. It could be something, your spirit guide showing themselves to you, or, it's definitely something really grandiose. Is that the right word? Really major, like, holy crap, I can't believe that just happened. And then your whole world changes for the freaking better. This is an amazing card for you.
So in other words, you're going to have a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am moment.
Or sir.
Yeah, any way you look at it. Okay, Monica.
Well, Monica, let's look at the Lantern Oracle for you. Off a bit, but it's working. You might not be off a bit, though. You might just think that you are. Don't think anything from a place of lack. Decide that you are not off a bit. You are right on time and right where you need to be. And that's how you're going to move on even faster. Loving the elevator, living it up and going down. I don't know. Okay, Monica. Here you go. Yeah, sometimes, guys, you have to refresh. I do that too. What was impossible last week became much less impossible. That's because nothing is impossible, metaphysically speaking anyway. Spiritually speaking anyway. Every flippin' time. It's almost like, it's not that I dread this card. It's just that it comes up so much. I'm like, man. Oh, really? That's probably why that song randomly popped into my head. Monica, women supporting women. Together we can transcend our individual limitations. Women who share their weaknesses, struggles, and shame, as well as their joy, victories, and opportunities, support each other's life journey. Together, women have the potential to strengthen each other in overcoming challenges and to rise much higher than is possible individually. By sharing one another's lives, we come to know ourselves. We experience what it is to see and be seen, to speak and be heard, to understand and be understood, and this evolves us. When people connected to their divine inner feminine bear witness, nurture, and support one another, mutual love and raised frequency occurs. The divine feminine consciousness connects and supports us in realizing our fullest potential, power, and wisdom. In each other, we see what is possible when we do not go at life alone, in silence, or against one another. When we realize that we are not alone or judged in our greatest vulnerability, hurts, and confusion, we heal. Women who have walked parallel paths know how to create this regenerative space. Life changes the second we are gifted with an experience of there being nothing to be ashamed of, but only pain to be released, witnessed, healed, and moved on from. Women supporting women potentially offers this life-changing moment when they hold loving space and support in response to an individual unburdening herself of some shame-filled secrets. Therefore, the potential loving safety generated by women supporting women nurtures and nourishes our spirits as well as enriches our lives. It may be time to reach out to the safe women in your life. It could also be time to explore your local community to discover where individuals connected to their divine feminine gather, or perhaps even organize your own circle at a park, cafe, or home through creating a meetup group or making a poster for your local community center or library notice board. Mother's message: in empowering one another, we empower ourselves. Monica, definitely a need to connect with other women. I mean, I know that's such a simple message, but you're a woman, so you know that it's really not. Women are catty. They're mean. They're spiteful. They're hateful. They will go out of their way to sleep with your man and try to destroy you over the smallest little thing. But that's not the type of woman or a woman that you need in your life right now. And hopefully that's not the type of women you're still surrounding yourself with, right? Find women that you trust, that you know you can trust, and who care about you to unburden yourself. Sometimes you need someone to talk to who isn't going to judge everything that you say or use everything that you say against you at a later date and kind of hold it for some sort of emotional blackmail. And I do feel like that could be a lot of what your experience is. You also, you know, there are certain women in your life, like if you have daughters, you don't want to unburden yourself there. It's time for you to make real connections with a couple, at least, other women who have been where you've been, who have seen what you've seen, who are going through exactly what you're going through, and where you can all support and help each other. There is a reason this card is being pulled for you, and that's probably because your life is going to change drastically once you make these few seemingly simple connections. That doesn't mean trust every woman who comes into your life. You know that that's a bad idea, but weed out the bad ones. Do your best to get along with the women coming and going from your life. And you'll feel that connection when it's made, if you haven't already, and find a real group of beautiful women that you can build this sisterhood with. Like the women in here, but just not only on Wednesday nights. Well, you don't have to have a daughter. I was just using that as an example for like some women in your life. You may not want to unburden yourself. You may not feel comfortable like a daughter. That's what I meant.
Okay. Shelley Montgomery.
Honey, it's not just connecting with females. It's about finding the right females to connect with to further your soul advancement. Females that know what you're going through, who are going to be kind to you no matter what, not use your pain against you. Women who are going to lend a helping hand.
Not feed off you.
Not feed off of you. Exactly. Not instill fear in any way. Who aren't ruled by ego. 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern will be here, honey.
Thank you. I was just about to say it when you beat me to it.
And I'm sorry, one more time.
Shelley Montgomery.
Shelley, scavenge. The crow searches for anything, even the smallest crumb, although insights might be gained and promote brain development. Attention is on an area that may not yield the greatest rewards. Scavenge suggests that you may be settling for less because it's more simple. Your attention may be on a situation that holds little promise, yet at the same time, you are hoping to find some source of nourishment or value in it. While in between jobs or relationships, you might find that the scavenge card will appear more frequently as you jump around from one opportunity to another. Use this time to gather information and determine what you like, what you don't like, what you can and what you won't settle for. This card may also appear if you have been simply taking what you can get instead of directing your attention toward the steps that would lead to something more substantial. I feel like it's all of the above. I feel like you're focusing on the wrong people, the wrong things, simply because they're safe or because they're usual. You're used to them. Hey, Aunt Cindy, even if it's a bad experience, we can get used to abuse quicker than we can get used to love, to be honest with you. And I'm not saying technically that you're being abused. I'm just using that as an example because I do feel like you're focusing all of your attention or the majority of your I'm here. The majority of your attention on, you know, things that are giving you no return on investment, right? So say you're giving all of your money to your church, but they're not even offering you the benefit of spiritual counsel, you know, something like that. What you're investing time, energy, effort into and attention, putting attention into is not giving you anything back. So it's time this week to take a step back, okay, and start trying to manifest the types of people, situations, relationships you want in your life. Also, stop just settling for what's coming your way. Go out, find a way to get what it is you feel you want, what you've earned, and what you deserve. Don't just take the crumbs that are thrown to you. Go out there and get the whole loaf of bread for yourself. You can, you must, and you really, really should, because otherwise you're going to stay stuck in this place of lack for God knows how long. And it's just going to be the same repeating cycle of lack, for lack of a better word. Good night, Monica. You're welcome so much again.
Okay. Eris.
Eris. Let's use the Seeker Oracle. KK Willie. What up, yo? Eris, trust in science. That's an interesting card for this community, huh?
Very interesting.
All right. I know. Science can be defined as the methodical study of the nature and behavior of the universe and all that dwells within it by making an observation, forming a hypothesis, and then testing the hypothesis through investigation and experimentation. Scientists, just like the rest of us, are not perfect. However, when it becomes clear that a hypothesis, an idea that explains a particular phenomenon or makes an educated guess, is flawed, they are willing to accept that they have made an error and invest more time in further study. A scientist accepts that they do not know everything. They do not mind being proven wrong because it is the truth that matters. Facts matter. Scientists employ rigorous methods to find their answers. They do not offer an unsubstantiated opinion. At worst, they will offer an educated guess. They will admit what they do not know. They will admit when they do not know the answer. When they do offer a solution, it is often based on years of research, observation, investigation, and experimentation. They are experts at what they do, and their only goal is to expand our knowledge and improve our lives. The message of this card is simple. While it is wise to have a questioning mind, there are times when we need to heed the wisdom and advice of experts rather than those who claim knowledge outside of their field. You would not seek out a plumber to better understand how the human brain functions. You would seek out a neuroscientist. You would not seek out a chef for insight into how infectious diseases affect us. You would seek out an epidemiologist. All might be experts in their fields, but they are not experts in fields outside their area of study or practice. Be sure that you are obtaining your information from the most knowledgeable source. Trust in science. Science is magic explained. I don't agree with science is magic explained, but in some cases, I guess it could be. I feel like you could be looking to further your study into something. Again, I'm getting metaphysical, but it really could be anything where the universe is warning you to really watch who you turn to for information. This is like what I was talking about with people claiming to be intuitive oracle readers, and really they're just picking up a deck, telling you what the book says and charging you for it. Whether they're charging you for it or not, you don't want to take that advice. Where's the evidence behind their knowledge? Or, how long have they been doing it? If you're looking for, even if it's like a doctor, or if you're looking for an oracle, if you're looking for a witch, if you're looking for a teacher, make sure you vet out the people that you're going to be trusting, not only with your money, but with whatever it is they're there, whatever service it is that they're there to provide you, Eris. Okay. And I feel like for whatever reason, this is a really important message for you in the next week or two. Treat every professional you're going to hire and or learn from, deal with, as you would a babysitter who's going to watch your child. Okay. Especially if there's an exchange of money involved. I do feel like there could be someone out there that you're reaching out to that really doesn't know what they're talking about, and that is kind of just, somehow has gotten away with it up to this point. And they're going to be found out soon. And you're going to be the one, like, what the heck happened? I really trusted in what they said. I believed in them. And it turns out that they're a complete and total fraud. Beware of false prophets, right? Beware of fakes and frauds in whatever field you're looking into. You guys are so welcome. Who's next?
Jules and Samantha. Nice try. You keep trying to catch me, don't you?
No, I was laughing at Jules. She said, I know I certainly wouldn't go to a surgeon that.
Yeah, her and her daughters now.
Okay.
And then
Jules,
Cisco.
Let's do vintage wisdom for you. That didn't have credentials behind him. 8. Sometimes there really are no credentials. Like what I said when someone said that I, really, you shouldn't put much stock into what I say because I'm really not educated enough in my field to be giving this kind of information. But it's like, what kind of diploma should I get? Should I get a channeling diploma? Where do I get that from?
Yeah.
I let the evidence of my giving accurate information, advice, and readings speak for itself. And if someone can't deal with that, that's why I said I'll never be that person, I hope, who has to shuffle like this in personals, it's like, if you don't trust me, then don't come to me. And that doesn't mean I don't appreciate everyone that does, but I'm not going to jump through hoops to prove myself. All I have to do is work and do my job to prove myself.
Does Cindy usually get a reading?
You can just ask her. Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Then do you get a reading? You want a reading?
Darling Deb, exactly. You're a master in your own experience. And Cindy, if you want a reading, let us know. Okay, Jules, balance. Here stands a daintily posed ballerina. Although her balance posture looks effortless, we do not see the many hours of discipline it took to cultivate such grace and poise. As she looks down at the hummingbird, her fragile wing-like arms fold reverently inward while she hovers on the tips of her toes as if to afford a better view. The male and female hummingbirds represent the relationship between opposites and their nest of illuminated golden eggs in the divine culmination of both. From the moment we are born, we enter into the realm of opposites. We soon come to realize that finding an artful balance is not only a continual act of survival, but also an ongoing rite of passage leading to a deeper, more refined understanding of ourselves and our relationship to life. Left unchecked, unconscious drives, attachments, and addictions can manifest as blind spots, making it hard to access our internal compass and navigate our attentions wisely. The presence of this card invites you into the stillness to address any area where the steadying hand of balance needs to be restored. Self-honesty and willingness to listen to your head and the intuitive wisdom of your heart will help identify areas needing attention. As the author of your own script, if change needs to happen, you and you alone have the freedom to rewrite the storyline. To realize your dreams, don't be afraid to aim for the stars. But as my grandma used to say, don't be so heavenly bound that you are no earthly good. I'm getting a little bit different of a message. I feel like you could be looking at something, either it's already happening as usual, and I always feel the need to reiterate this, or it's coming in this week or next week, where you feel like whatever this is coming easy to someone else or to other people. And you're like, how come, I've tried and failed 25 times and this person just gets the hang of it just like that. And, or I've been working at this for, X amount of time, and this person just comes right in and gets it right the first time, or gets that promotion I've been working hard for 2 years. And this person comes out of nowhere and just got hired here. Things like that. What you're not seeing is the other person's journey to get to the point where they came right in and got this. Don't be deceived. They actually haven't. Trying to not focus too much on other people and what they're doing and what they're achieving, but to at least know that you're not the only one in the world who has felt this way, and to understand that everyone has their own journey. Try not to hold envy, jealousy, or too close to your heart in the next couple of weeks. Kind of catch and release with that type of energy. Always, we should be doing that. But also, try to see both sides of the story, okay? So don't just automatically assume anything about anyone. I feel like there's an opportunity that's going to come in where you're going to feel like you need to do just that. Like your best friend comes and tells you, did you hear about so-and-so? And you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they did that. And then you run into so-and-so and you get the real story as to why they behaved the way that they did when you were judging them to begin with. I hope this is making sense. Just try to stay focused on your own journey and on getting all the information you possibly can about a situation and or person before, accidentally or inadvertently spreading a false rumor or, pushing forward a false accusation. You're not going to be doing it on purpose. It's just you're trusting where the information is coming from. It seems legit, and then you go forward with it, and really you don't have all of the facts and information, and you end up really either hurting someone or, by association, hurting yourself. All right, Samantha, Dark Goddess. Good night, Shelly. Hi, Vera Ray. Good night. Thank you for stopping in. Guys, don't forget information in the description box about personals, about products I offer and sell. Personals can be remote or one-on-one, an hour to an hour and a half-ish. Video chat through StreamYard, so there's no download or extra cost to you, and they're usually followed up by me sending you something in the mail. All right, so Samantha, you got Sekhmet, empowerment. Empowering Goddess, I call upon you to eliminate all in my life that's not true. Devour and destroy my guilt, fear, and blame. Set them alight in your solar bright flame. By the power of the dark goddess in me, protection in place, blessed be. All right, Cisco, you're next, honey. You are quite the rebel, aren't you, Samantha? Often going against the grain, you push through other people's boundaries without knowing what the effect will be. You have been a fighter all of your life, facing up to life's challenges and overcoming other people's prejudices directed at you. You stand strong in your beliefs regardless of other people's thoughts and feelings. You always rise in opposition against those who are in power for all of the wrong reasons, though. Sekhmet calls you to see the truth from all perspectives. You are a force to be reckoned with as you fearlessly rise up to state your mind. Rebellion needs to be controlled and not forced at the cost of hurting others or seeking revenge for past hurts. This is your time to empower yourself and to assist others. Become a rebel with a cause. For you have been called to help others who have gone through similar situations and to learn from any mistakes that you may have made. Stop being a rebel for the sake of being a rebel. Speak your truth lovingly. Try to see both sides to any situation. Draw upon your past experiences to grow stronger. Call upon the strength of Sekhmet to truly stand in your power. Disregard any minor agitations and shine your light. Don't let every little thing get to you this week, Samantha. I feel like there are people that are trying to kind of push your buttons. I feel like you're moving out of this space of, you know, being the ultimate rebel or whatever. But there are people who are going to want to challenge that, who are going to want to be like, oh yeah, how about this? And then they push the right button and you explode and become that person all over again. I feel like the universe wants to reward your very, what's the word? They want to reward your very honest and earnest effort to become a better person. Definitely don't, like, it's kind of like what I just told your mom. Don't make any snap judgments or snap decisions. Make sure you get all of the information. Make sure you get the, you know, to the bottom of the truth before you state it personally as truth, because there are going to be people that come back and they're like, Samantha told me that. And then, you know, it's going to come back on you. Don't get involved in anyone else's drama. Try to have as little to do with people that, like, you know, you look at your phone and they're calling and you're like, oh, she wants to talk about her gout again. You know, don't even answer for those people, the human straws, right? Focus on self, focus on those that matter to you, focus on things that matter, and focus on being the best possible person you can be, because very soon, maybe not in the next week or two, there's going to be someone or several someone's coming in that are having the same issue that you had so long ago. And you're going to feel confident and powerful enough in yourself and your own abilities to be like, you know what, I can help you. Don't worry about it. To really make a difference in someone else's life. And I feel like that's going to be this turning point for you to something in your life. And we'll keep an eye on this. But definitely, you know, again, no snap judgments, no quick major decisions, no drama-free zone, because again, people are going to be trying to push your buttons and make a liar out of you when you're not lying. You're just, you know, you're growing, you're manifesting, and people, not everyone understands what that means. They just look at it as you're being inauthentic, when really you're trying to act as if, you know, your focus needs focus. Yeah.
Let's go.
Is she here?
I don't know. She
Thank
said
you,
she was.
Jeff.
Yeah, she's here. Yeah, she's here. She said she was still
Okay.
here.
So nice to see you. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. And it is nice to see you. AK Willie, I've got to fix that. I will check Moonbear Oracle if you've already emailed me, but I've got to fix my business cards. I've got to fix the description box. I think I already fixed the description box. It's Gemma Jade Paranormal. I'm just using that for everything now. But if you already emailed me at Moonbear Oracle, I'll check that tomorrow morning when I check emails, okay? That's even on my business card, but I got 500 made because I have to just go for everything all at once and go big without even thinking about it. But that's a good question. So for the most part, I use Gemma Jade Paranormal, but every once in a while, I check Moonbear Oracle. Cisco, I am going to use Oracle of the Radiant Sun.
Hello, Jeff. I didn't get to say hello. Hello.
Ah, stop. Thank you so much for relaying the messages. Still dead balls accurate, baby. I will talk to you tomorrow. I'm going to go to bed. My ears are about to bust from the ringing again. Yes, go do that. Yes, you're so welcome, AK Willie. Be safe. And yeah, if you need to email me, GemmaJadeParanormal@gmail.com, and I will check Moon Bear Oracle. I should probably do that soon anyway. All right, Miss Cisco. Let's see what we got. Yeah, guys, catch the replay. If you don't, if you do, or even if you caught it live, please go and leave a comment afterwards. Even if I don't reply, it still really does help me somehow with the algorithm. I'm not sure exactly how, but I know that it does. Lightworker's still here.
Okay, good. That's what I was just going to ask for again.
Jules, I'll message you probably a half hour to 15 minutes before I send you the link tomorrow, okay? That's when I'll be opening and reading through again all of your emails and taking notes and writing my questions down and all that jazz.
Jeff, did you want a reading?
Jeff, do you want a reading?
Let me know if you're still here.
All right, Cisco, you got decision, and I believe it's Mars in Gemini, but let me look up the symbol. Come on. Mars, yes, Mars in Gemini. Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars. Gemini, Leo. Okay. Cisco. Most Mars Gemini actions involve mental work and often manual dexterity too. Mars and Gemini alike are fast-moving factors in traditional astrology. Neither planet nor sign can endure waiting around for things to happen, and both require quick action. This planet-sign combination indicates someone who is good in argument and debate and brilliant at the quick verbal comeback. When it comes to sharp and aggressive repartee, Mars Gemini types can lash with the tongue a little better than most. In fact, most of their battles are fought verbally. Such people display much inventiveness and ingenuity in their activities, which usually involve doing more than one job at a time. Often this placing of Mars indicates great versatility in work with the hands as well as with the mind. Coupled with Gemini's ability to do many things at the same time, it would be surprising if people with this aspect did not have a good physical manipulative talent to add to their mental skills. Mars Geminians have a lot of energy to expend in rushing around gathering information, reference, or just good old-fashioned gossip, and are a source of information for all who inquire. If they don't know the answer personally, they know someone who does. If this person is not a professional reporter, he or she makes a good amateur. When this card is drawn, it indicates the need to make a quick decision, but bear in mind that speed is not the most important factor. A heated argument, cross-questioning someone, a fight over a contract, a regretted letter. So Cisco, hey Dargo, Cisco, there definitely is a quick decision that needs to be made here, but it doesn't mean you have to move quickly in the decision. I know in your case, it is a special case. You kind of do have to move quickly, but I feel like it's been dragging on forever and ever. And you know that it's dangerous and you know that it's time to move away from it. And I do feel a little bit like lost soul type energy. Like, what do I do? Where do I turn? Who's going to help? The real message here is not to get discouraged when, it doesn't, like, you can try something 49 times and not get it right. And on the 50th time, you got this. So if you didn't try that 50th time, then you never would have known that you could have succeeded. And I know when it seems like it's a matter of life and death, or, the situation that you're in, it can seem like forever and maybe you don't have that much time. The universe is telling you to do everything you can to make the changes that you can right now. So say, for example, and I'm not going to give your personal business away. So say, for example, you really have to move because,
life.
No, you really have to move because your landlord's selling the house and they already rented it to someone else next week. And they just told you today, and you've got, 5 kids you have to care for. So, you're in a panic. You don't have the money saved. You don't know whom to turn to, where to go, what to do. The universe is saying there is always the opportunity that's there. You just have to really believe in it. You can't get hopeless. You can't feel helpless. You can't become too desperate to see the opportunities that are being presented right in front of you. It may not be the ideal opportunity for you or the ideal situation, but you'll have a roof over your head with your children. You may have to go stay with great Uncle Stanley, who's a little bit creepy, but as long as he's not dangerously so to you or your children, it's better than nothing. You may have to go stay in a 1-bedroom trailer, but it's better than, being out on the streets. And it's things like that. You may have to be willing for a short time to accept less than what you have been expecting in order to make this quick move, especially when you're involved in a life or death situation. So stop getting discouraged, and to the best of your ability. And, I wouldn't even give you this message this way, except that's what's coming in, right? That's what I'm channeling. Stop getting so down that you render yourself powerless. You do still have power, regardless of what you're being told, regardless of how you're being treated, regardless of how you've been being made to feel for so long. And your power in your situation specifically lies in the protection of your children. Don't wait to do things exactly as you plan. Make the next best move that you possibly can to get yourself out and away, and then figure out more long-term stuff. This is an urgent and dire message for you. Okay. Start looking for ways that don't look like, you getting exactly what you want and exactly where you expect to be right away like that. There might be a couple of steps before you end up where you ultimately need to be or feel you need to be. And in between there might be an opportunity that comes in where you end up not even needing to go where you thought you needed to go the whole time. You can't just focus on one outcome because it's the most appealing outcome to you. You have to kind of take what you can get right now and take steps toward that ultimate goal. All right, Anson, I love you. Thank you for coming in. All right, who's next?
Light worker.
Light worker, let's use vintage wisdom. How many more do we have? 1? Okay. Good, I'm tired. You're welcome, sweetie. Keep in touch with me. I'm going to go through my emails again tomorrow morning. It's crazy for me too. I don't stop working from the time I open my eyes. And I don't care because I love what I do for a living. It just, emails oftentimes take a back seat despite my not meaning for them to. These are upside down. There's no reversal in this deck. All right, light worker. Power. I can't show this card because there are bare breasts and YouTube is juvenile. Show it really fast just for a second and cover the boobs. That's the card of power. This sovereign angel is queen of her domain. She knows who she is and where she's going. Behind her head, a halo crown in the form of a compass represents choice over many directions. Her mysterious dark wings point heavenward. A pair of cheetahs stand tamely at her feet. Cheetahs are associated with courage and the might of royalty, and like royalty can inspire both awe and respect. The aura of protective golden light surrounding power proves she has earned the necessary wisdom to use the position of sovereignty responsibly and wisely. In today's world, we often measure our worth against the illusion of worldly status and mistake material gain for power. Many feel helpless and victimized by the chill of power's seemingly ruthless grip, but this can only happen if we choose to look outside of ourselves for the strength and wisdom we feel we lack. Authentic power, however, comes from within, and the ability to recognize and discern its core meaning can take many years, if not lifetimes. The presence of this triumphant card reminds you of your spiritual inheritance and sovereign self. You are a bright, regal spark of the divine, independent, individual, and yet totally connected. Perhaps you are in the midst of a power struggle or need to reclaim control from a person or situation. Are you using your position of power wisely? Are you being called to stand firm in your power and have the courage of your convictions? Purposeful thoughts and deeds seated from the fertile ground of truthfulness, honor, and respect carry authentic power and are among your strongest allies. I do feel a need here to step into your power and really stand firm, okay? I don't know what the situation is, but I do feel like someone is, I don't want to say I'm getting challenging your authority, but that's what I'm hearing, but it's not what it feels like. Energetically, I don't feel like they're really challenging your authority. Okay, they're challenging your authority over yourself. Who except you is the ultimate authority on you on this planet? And I feel like you're in a power struggle with someone over your own power. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, keep your eyes open, because in the next week or two, this is going to be coming in. Step into your power, stand firm in it, claim it. Don't let anyone walk all over you, talk down to you, make you feel less than. Even if you're not, if you're out looking for a job and you get passed up, like I just said to Cisco 45 times, you'll never know if the 46th time was going to be your big breakthrough. Don't let someone tell you, oh man, you tried 45 times. Why don't you just get a real job? You want to be an actress. Haven't you tried enough? You're too old for that. Those types of things are what I'm hearing people saying to you. And I don't think it's about, well, it could be about a job, but I'm getting more of like your spiritual journey. People not understanding what it is you're trying to gain, accomplish, who you're trying to possibly become. And I feel like this is a lifetimes type thing where you're going to be breaking generational bonds with this one, like soul bonds that you've imprisoned yourself within throughout lifetimes, past, present, and future. And this lifetime right here in particular is going to be where you take that stand. As long as you keep pushing back, don't settle for less, and don't allow anyone to treat you or say anything to you that's, you're less than or speak down to you. You know what you're doing. Follow your intuition. If you need to do the same thing 85 times, 1,000 times, if it feels right and authentic to you, that's the authenticity and the true self that you stand in firmly this week and next week. Dargo?
Yep, and you're done.
Dargo, Ancestor Spirit. Hey, Crowley. Yeah, we're about to end, Crowley, but I hope you're doing well. It's Miss, hun. Hey, Dargo. Oh, good. I'm glad it makes 100% sense. That's awesome. Keep at it. Keep going. Keep doing what you're doing. Follow your intuition and your guides, okay? I feel like you are very in tune with them, not just based on your name, but even if I was basing it on that, that's what I would think. But in connecting with your energy, you know what you're doing. You know where the real and accurate information is coming in from. All right, Dargo, and then we are out. Spirit guides, Dargo. Insight, guidance, and purpose. Crowley, I hope you're doing well, hun. Your spirit guides are calling you. They want to give you clear messages to help you on your true path. You may not be able to go on a traditional vision quest, but you can embark on a spiritual journey. Learn more about who your spirit guides are and explore ways of communicating with them. Make attempts to hear, feel, see, and sense your spirit guides. If you are unsure of how to communicate with your spirit guides, meditate and ask for a sign about who your guides are, or ask for help from a spiritual friend or mentor. I can send you an offering mix that can help you with this if you want. It's homemade. It is the right time to connect with your spirit guides. You are ready now. Do not be afraid, because your spirit guides are already guiding and protecting you. Pay attention to any object you feel drawn to, such as a crystal, rock, or feather, which you can keep as a spiritual talisman. If you find a special item, keep it safe and use it in your spiritual practice. In the next week or so, I want you to be very aware of your surroundings. Be mindful. Spirit tends to leave coins, mainly silver coins, dimes, nickels, quarters, okay, if you're in the United States. Which you are. Duh, I forgot about that. I have you on my mailing list. So not just that though, like a found crystal or an interesting looking rock. These are all things that your spirit guides are like, hey, we're here. You really need to meditate and connect with them. Burn some herbs. Like I said, I can send you a special homemade offering mix specifically for connecting with your guides, both angelic, ancestral and extraterrestrial, if that may be the case. That's really all I'm getting here. It's just like there's something so important that you're not seeing, that you're not going, it's information you're not going to get from another human. It's information you're not even really going to get from spirit if you were able to communicate with them like a medium could. It's something that is specific to your spirit guides and your ancestral guides, okay? Your ancestors in, specifically, in particular. There is a journey you're about to embark on that they want you to see the full picture before you make the, right or wrong decision. And they want to help guide you in the right way so you don't end up 25 steps backwards when you reach the end of the journey and realize you took the wrong road. Do you know what I'm saying? So find a way to connect with your spiritual guides through meditation, binaural beats, theta, beta, alpha waves, whatever, or reach out and I can help you as well. But you need to do it in the next week or two, communicate with them, get in contact, in sync with them so that they can send this information through as downloads, write it down, do automatic writing, pay attention to your dreams, whatever you do that connects you with your guides, whatever your ritual is, so to speak. Guys, I am absolutely pooped. I actually do that a lot more than not. Picking up random curios I feel attracted to. Good. And keep doing it. I am pooped. I really just need to get some rest and some sleep. I have another completely full day from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed tomorrow of work. So don't forget the description box, personal readings remotely or one-on-one face-to-face through a video chat. My books on Amazon, paperback or Kindle versions, Missing the Faith Theory, Encounters with Evil, 101 True and Terrifying Stories, and my newest book, Shadow Entities, Sleep Paralysis, and Beyond, all available. If you want a signed copy, please contact me first. For that, for personals, to put in orders of any of the metaphysical and spiritual items that I offer, homemade and handcraft. Home, make, and handcraft. For anything that you need to contact me about, email me at GemmaJadeParanormal@gmail.com. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. All right. Join us tomorrow night from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern with Miss Paranormal Pixie, myself, and Ghost Dragons as we chillax and chat. I don't really think there's much else, guys. I may have to miss Monday morning's upload. I'm going to try really hard not to have to do that. But if I can't squeeze it in tomorrow, all of it, researching, scripting, filming, editing, all that, I may have to skip it and just put it out Tuesday or something. I will do my very best for you guys, as I always do. Be kind to each other. Never accept anything less than others being kind to you. Always go in grace. Smile at a stranger. Don't forget PayPal and Cash App as well. Leave a comment afterwards. Come back and listen to it again if you need to. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.